Welcome to the Vault Excel. Hope you all are well. This is my continued coverage pertaining to the 911 call of the Idaho 4 massacre and the roommates who called for help less than 8 hours later. Two of the parties on the scene, allegedly. And I'm just chopping up bits and pieces of the 911 call as I continue to dissect the information. I've talked to you about Ethan, him not being mentioned in the 911 call. I've mentioned why was there no description of the scene being bloody, smelling blood, death. We also now hear from the court TV segment that Dylan or Bethany finally says both of them at the end of the 911 call, which now you're admitting that there are two people dead, but you never mention it in the first 2 minutes of the audio because it's about a 4-minute long audio to the dispatcher. We also discussed shifting around the phone, hot potato. Why are different people talking? Is it because one of the girls can't speak, distraught? She can't speak clear enough, so that's when the girl steps in to speak, possibly so. But where I have the problem now, after re-listening to the audio from yesterday's live, I want to touch on something else that's just concerning me about the audio. The female who speaks and takes the phone, she trips up and says, hour, and then she changes it to, oh, I live next door. I want you to think about that for just a second. Why would you say hour as if you live there in the house and then say, oh, I live next door? Because common sense should tell you this is a serious situation. You're calling for a reason. This is not like you're calling about a noise complaint and you're trying to remain anonymous. You give a fake name, or you don't give a name at all. You're at the scene of homicides. And I do believe that these kids knew that all these kids were dead, or at least two were dead. So it's a serious situation. So what you have to ask yourself in listening to this 911 call for the umpteenth time, why would a female pretend to be one of the roommates? See, you have to listen very carefully, because there's a whole lot more going on in this 911 call than 4 people passed out, dead. Nobody wants to say that they're dead. That's what we're going to talk about this afternoon. Why did these kids not want to admit these kids were dead? Because it's baffling to me. We have a female who allegedly lives next door but pretends to say hour like she's trying to say she lives there. Then she realizes, oh, I live next door. And that's strange to me. Now, I'm supposed to believe that nobody else is involved in this crime. Nobody else participated in this crime. Nobody else aided Mr. Korberger. He is believed by the state to be the sole proprietor of these killings. But yet, when you listen to the 911 call, you realize there's more going on than just these dead people in this house. The behavior of these people on the phone is asinine. And it's troublesome because it's deeper now than just somebody waited 8 hours to call. When you listen to the shuffling of person to person to person, no mentioning of Ethan Chapin, no mentioning that there's a second body seen, no mention of blood, no mention of smelling blood and death, you have to wonder what is really going on with these kids, because it's now, in my opinion, deeper than, oh, they're kids, they're childish, they're immature, they were scared. This seems quite rehearsed to me. Ask your mama to spell it. How about that? Their behavior was asinine. There's something off here. And the fact that For 2 years, we thought that somebody had passed out here. Well, we have to now say that no one passed out there. That's the description of what was in there. Make it make sense? So as I said to you all yesterday in my live, why would you all pass a rumor out that somebody passed out outside, and that's why other parties were answering the phone? Or is that a rumor that somebody put out, which would be one of the girls or the guy, as to aid this story? Because now you have to go back in time and ask that question. Who put out the rumor that someone passed out outside? Because when you listen to the 911 call, you don't get a depiction that someone is on the ground passed out. You just hear different people talking. But never once in that commentary do you hear, get up, get up, get up, get up, get some water. We're outside, my friend, we're outside. She passed out here. We now know that's not true. Put that rumor out. Somebody out here in La La Land? Somebody in Moscow who was just hearing the story? Or was it the girls and this Hunter person? Because the more I listen to this audio, it's deeply troubling to me. It's deeply troubling. And Mr. Gonsalves don't want anyone passing fingers or pointing fingers at these kids. Nothing they could have done. Maybe not, but it's still principle. You should have called 911. You had a whole human walk by you in your own house in a ski mask. And you didn't think that was important to dial for help. Why not? You called everybody in the house and they stopped. Cold turkey. No conversation. No more crying, no more whimpering. No shuffling, banging, nothing. You text the girl downstairs. You go down to her room and you sit down there for hours. Don't know if you were up, awake, sleep, when you all went to sleep. Don't know who else you could have called and texted. So we also have to ask that now. Who else was texted after 4 a.m. by Dylan and Bethany? Are we going to find out they text and call other people? What's the description they gave in their text? And when they got up at 10-something, allegedly texting the dead people, what were you doing in that half an hour time? 10:23 up until allegedly what? 11:55, 11:54, something like that. What were they doing? Because even if Korberger is the suspect, what is off is this 911 call and the behavior of these kids. And there's nowhere in my right mind I'm going to just aid. They're childish, they're this, they're that, they feared this. Well, where do these other two come in at? Because now you're bringing in two other people who don't live in the house allegedly. So I'm going to mention something someone said in the chat yesterday. Was somebody else staying in the house that night with these kids? Did they have another overnight guest who heard all this shuffling and banging and stuff going on? Are we going to find out somebody else was in the house? Are we going to find out that there was another roommate in that house? Because that was mentioned before, you know. Somebody thought maybe somebody else was staying there, but then they said, oh no, they didn't have another roommate there. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm trying to figure out why with this stranger who says our, and says she's a roommate, but then she changes it and says, oh, I live next door. Doors down, whatever. Why lie? So we're going to go back. And then you decide why these people assume these kids were passed out. When common sense would tell you they were not passed out, they were dead. They were brutally murdered with a weapon. And whether it was light in the building, dark in the building, if you touch them, come on with it, Queen. you would know that they're dead. You're calling their name, they're not answering. You should have seen stab wounds, visual wounds, should have seen blood, should have smelled it. So I'm trying to understand, why is this 911 call only about a she, but at the end, it's one of the girls says both of them. When the operator asks how old is the victim, she finally admits, oh, it's both of them. Both of them are 20. Yes, 20, both of them. But yet there's no mention of Ethan during this entire fucking phone call. Make it make sense. So we've got bloodbath, smell of death, blood, wounds on the victims, no mention of Ethan, no mention of 2 people dead. You had to touch them to know that they're not moving, but then she tells you to go back up there to check on them, and then she asks, well, is there a pulse, blah, 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 and then the guy says no. So it's like, okay, what is really going on here? So you still don't give a description, even after she says, is she breathing? And he says no. And you still ain't saying, hey, my friend, he's up here too. If this guy's allegedly a friend of Ethan's. This is why I told you all, you cannot keep listening to all this he said, she said that stirred up 2 years ago. Because what we thought is that somebody was out here passed out. We now know that's not true. And then when you listen to this 911 call, it's not depicting the whole story, which there are 2 dead folks plus 2 other dead people on the top floor. Make it make sense.
911 location of your emergency. Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what. What is the address of the emergency? 1122. What is the rest of the address? Oh, Kings Road. Okay. And is it a house or an apartment? It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White Store next to them. I need someone to repeat the address for verification. The address? What? Something happened in our house. We don't know what. What is the address of the emergency? 1122.
Stop. What is that about?
What is the rest of the address? Oh, Kings Road. Okay. And is it a house or an apartment? It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White Store next to them. I need someone to repeat the address for verification. The address? 1122 King Road. And what's the phone number that you're calling from? What's your phone number? And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of our. So before she even says, we live next door, down the road, see, this don't make no sense. Well, which is it? You live next door? You live in the house? You're a roommate? What are you? Let's go back. Something's not right here. Something's not right at all.
911 location of your emergency. Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what. What is the address of the emergency?
Something has happened in our house and we don't know what. So I'm going to ask Dylan and Bethany, when did you realize there were dead people in your house? After 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., after 11 a.m. Which is it? Why are you telling this lady something happened in your house? So what are you saying to the universe? That you two got up after 10 something 11 and still scared, shaken about the man in the mask and called people over because you were afraid to walk around the house and find out for yourself? Which is it? Or at some point you got up from 4 to 12 and saw for yourself, and then you called people to tell them what you saw, and then they came over and you all discussed whatever you saw, and then you all decided to allegedly go outside to call. Because I want to tell you something. How do I know that you were even out there making the 911 call? Bingo card. How do I know where they were when the call was made? I don't know if you were out here or if you were in there in one of these rooms on the stair landing. Because what's bizarre to me is at the end of this audio, when she tells them to go back in, you hear some shuffling around, but I don't hear anybody like running up steps. And if the steps are wooden, wouldn't you hear somebody running up steps? See, I listen to everything. And steps are going to make noise, especially if they don't have any carpet on them. So let's say there's no carpeting on the steps. They go from that door up to there, right? Because there's a railing right here. There's no noise. I hear shuffling. So I want to know, where were these people talking actually? Were you all actually outside? Because as I said, if it's a lie that nobody was passed out outside, then I don't have to believe that you all called 911 outside. Bingo card. Something's off here. Stop what? Who's saying stop? Dylan, is that you saying stop? Beth, are you saying stop? I doubt it's the girl, because you all are the only ones crying. The other girl seems pretty well considering the circumstances. Stop what? What the hell are you all doing? Because this background noise and all this shuffling and shit don't make no sense. The people in the house are dead. They ain't up dancing around. So what the hell are you all doing? I'm woke. I hope everybody else is woke.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, but it's the reality of
Something emergency. 112. What is the rest of the address? Oh, Kings Road. Okay. And is it a house or an apartment? It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the white store next to them. I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
See what you just said? As we live next to them.
Oh, Kings Road. Okay. And is it a house or an apartment? It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the white store next to them.
See? As we're right next to them. You live next door where? Do you live in that house? Do you live in an apartment building beside the property? Where exactly do you live, Miss Lady? Were you called over to this house before the 911 call? Because many people are going to have a problem with that. We have two unknown people speaking on this audio besides the two roommates. And it is understood that these girls called somebody before they called 911. Why is that? Why are you calling other people? Make it make sense. Why are you even there? Who the hell sticks around with dead people in a house? Yeah, I'm asking all the questions because you got to make it make sense. That's why I said, were they even outside when they made the 911 call? Who is this girl? Where does she live in proximity to the house? How did these kids get over there? Because as I said, the understanding is that a girl walked by while they were being hysterical outside and one of them passed out and she walked up to see what was going on. I never believed that when I first heard it. I never believed it when I first heard it. I said, no, I don't know if I believe that version. I said, some strangers walking by, two people outside screaming, and this girl walks up and says, hey, what's going on? What's the matter? And one of them says, oh, by the way, we found such and such, such and such. And then one of them passes out. And then what? The other one, she can't talk? So then this stranger, how is she going to repeat what's going on in the house if she just walked up on the scene? Bingo card. I'm woke. I don't know what the hell's going on with these kids. I don't know what the hell went on in that house, the 12th and the 13th. But something is not right. And this 911 call is proof. Now, I do believe Kohlberger is behind this crime, but I also believe something else is off. What it is, I don't know. But you got to put it together, whether Kohlberger did it or not. Their behavior is off. It sounds rehearsed to me. Is this a rehearsed 911 call? That's the title of this video. And why is this unknown girl pretending to be a roommate and then switches it up and says, oh, I live next door? So she went from living next door, just caught that again. Live down, well, I live down the road to hour, then I live next door. Why are you stumbling over your own words? You don't know who you are? Hi, my name is Becky. Hi, my name is Karen. Hi, my name is Mary. I live next door. Why do you think the dispatcher kept telling them stop passing the phone around? Because she can't understand what they're talking about.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification. The address, 1122 King Road. And what's the phone number that you're calling from? What's your phone number? And tell me exactly what's going on. One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she got wakey up. Okay. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah.
How would you know that? If we'd have believed the version that somebody was passed out outside, which we now know it has to be a lie. Like I said, I don't know who started that rumor. Why are you repeating about somebody passed out and they were drunk? How would you know that? You live doors down, next door. I'm just saying. Make it make sense. Hello, hon. I live next door, hour. I'm the neighbor. All this weed talk. And she keeps catching herself. Who are you? Miss Lady, who are you? I'm curious. Because we have yet to find out who this unidentified female is. What is your relationship to these females in this house? What is your relationship to Hunter? Because something is just off. And of course, people can say, well, Queen, you know, we don't know everything. So naturally, it's not going to make any sense. Well, you got that right. It don't make a whole lot of no sense. Because this girl is tripping up on her own words, and it really don't make no sense to be tripping up on something if you're telling the truth. I don't need to stumble on who I am. If I grab the phone, I would say, hi, my name is Mary. I'm the neighbor next door. I walked over here. One of the girls was laying on the ground. I mean, they were hysterical, and I asked what was wrong, and one girl passed out right here, and so the other one, she was too hysterical to talk, and I'm just calling to let you know there's a person passed out on the ground. You don't hear that in this 911 call. So that's lie number one. Why? Why would somebody put that lie out 2 years ago? Who is this unknown girl? Why was she trying to pretend to be a roommate and is not a roommate? I'll tell you, y'all better pay attention. Because something is off with this call. 4-minute call, mass confusion. Why? Because in the end, we now know there was nobody passed out outside and nobody's passed out inside. There were people who were dead in there. And I'm trying to understand, how are you talking to somebody for 4 minutes and you don't even describe a bloody scene? You don't describe seeing 2 dead people. So this is what I kept telling everybody when they coming in the chat with 1,000 different excuses. Oh, he's up on the door. He's blocking the door. Da, 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 da. Try again. They saw them kids dead. She just told you to go up there and check. Still don't hear nothing about Ethan. Is she breathing? No. That's what Hunter says. No. Well, Hunter, help me understand. If Xana wasn't breathing, at what point were you going to tell the dispatcher she's been stabbed? What? Help me understand, because that sounds like it's a secret or something. You all don't want the dispatcher to know that the kids were stabbed? Well, they gonna find out anyway once they sent the police and the ambulance. Help me understand, because I'm confused. I'm telling you the truth. If I didn't know any better, hell, y'all act like y'all did something. I'm just saying, because this 911 call don't make no sense. I ain't never heard no 911 call like this in all the years I've been living. I ain't never heard nobody go to no scene and act this. It's like, two people calm, and then we got one crying, and another one, she don't want to be involved. That's Bethany, I guess. She don't want to be involved. This shit don't add up. Stop. Stop what? The people are dead. What are y'all talking about?
Are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much? What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now? I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m. Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out? Yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check. But we have to.
Right there. So Dylan is the one doing the crying. She's on the phone. She's talking to Bethany. Come on, we have to. So basically, Bethany don't want to go back in there. So I want you all to think back to the beginning of this audio where nobody knew what happened. Remember? Remember she jumped back on the phone after the girl was talking, and she said, can I tell you what happened? And the dispatcher's like, no, I don't want to hear about what happened at 4 a.m. How are you going to tell the dispatcher what happened when you don't know what happened? And Bethany's acting like she's scared to go back in. So this is why you know this is all over the place. You don't know what happened, but you want to talk about a man with a mask on at 4 a.m. Bethany don't want to go back in, but y'all don't know what happened. Well, if you don't know what happened, why is Bethany scared to go back in? Put it together. Come on, Bethany, we have to. So Bethany must be standing there shaking her head. No. But we know you know something because you all are spinning the web of somebody passed out. That's why I'm saying this 4-minute call is contradictory. Hot potato with the phone. I don't know nothing. But let me tell you about the man in the mask. I don't want to go back in there. But you don't know nothing. But then somebody will say, well, we know they have to know something because it defeats the purpose of the call altogether.
She's not waking up.
What's wrong? She's not waking up. She's passed out. No, she ain't passed out. She's dead. What is missing from this conversation? What's wrong? Oh my God. She's passed out. Well, let me think about that for a minute. Allegedly, 4 victims were stabbed with a K-bar knife. And we have seen depictions of a knife that they believe, to be similar to the knife used on the victims. And it's a very large knife because the perpetrator left the sheath behind, which we're going to assume belongs to the knife. And when you look at the sheath, it's a nice size sheath. If you see where I'm going with this. So when you look at the size of the sheath, you're going to use deduction that the knife is similar in size to the damn sheath. And then you're going to say to yourself, damn, that's a mighty big knife that had to be inside this nice size sheath. So I want to say to these kids, what the fuck is this 911 call about? Because you all are downplaying, allegedly, 2 dead people. And I'm trying to understand why. You don't have to be afraid to tell the dispatcher she's in her office somewhere answering phone calls. She ain't there. She's not there. And she don't even know what the hell is going on. And even when she got off that phone, she didn't know what the hell was going on. You know why she didn't know what's going on? Because you ain't told her shit. Why is that? Because you can't say, well, I'm trying to preserve the dispatcher, because the dispatcher is a stranger. So we can scratch her. So what's the secret? The kids are going to find out anyway. They're the ones living in the house. That's why I said, none of this make no sense. And somebody had to have known these kids were dead at some point before 12 noon, because that defeats the purpose of the 911 call. You're calling because you're saying somebody's passed out. Well, that means you had to have gone into this room. Let's take a look. You had to have gone in this little room to see 2 people passed out, but yet this 4-minute call is basically about a she, not a they. So I'd like to ask these 4 kids, or however many of you are standing there, why are you calling this dispatcher, confusing her, and refusing to describe what you actually saw at 1122 King Road? I don't know what's going on, but I want to talk about the guy in the mask. Come on, Bethany, we have to. Unknown female, pretending to be a roommate, but then says, oh, I'm a neighbor next door. Y'all don't find none of this strange? Because I do.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way. Okay, and how old is she? She's 20. 20, you said?
there. Go back.
Okay, and how old is she? She's 20. 20, you said? Yeah, 20 to 12.
20, you said? Yes. 20. She responds, both of them. Both of whom? You've been talking about a she for 3 minutes. Why did they only talk about a she for over 3 minutes? Help me understand. We have somebody who refuses to tell what they saw, don't know what's going on, just want to talk about a man in a mask. We've got a guy over there, a girl over there, a girl pretending to be a roommate that slips up and says she's a neighbor. We got Bethany don't want to participate. Then we've got Dylan boo-hooing and finally tells the truth that there's more than one victim. And yet nobody in this circle of people playing hot potato with a cell phone is telling the truth about what the fuck they saw in there. And I'm trying to understand why. No description. Hurry, please, hurry. They're dead in there. There's blood everywhere. Please, hurry. It smells horrible. I don't hear none of that. She's passed out. She's passed out. She's passed out for almost 4 minutes. And then finally at the end of the audio, yes, 20, both of them. Oh, there's somebody else in there? Well, and the dispatcher, I don't even know if she caught that or not. I would have said both of them. What you talking about? I thought one person passed out. Lord have mercy. Somebody in the chat, please help me out. Y'all are awfully quiet down there. Because most of you listening to this live stream know this is a bunch of bullshit. Whether these kids had anything to do with this crime, knew this man, whatever, because I believe Korberger worked alone, but a part of my brain is still trying to understand the behavior of these kids. And this 911 call definitely makes it worse, in my opinion, and that's my opinion. Because you're downplaying dead people in a house. And of course, we don't hear about the other two, so one could say, well, they hadn't gone up there yet to see them. I'm not getting ready to go on record and say what nobody saw. I have made that clear from here on out. I'm not vouching for nobody with 2 feet. You weren't in my mama's womb with me. I'm not vouching for you. That's just Queen. I'm not vouching for nobody because, one, you don't know people. And this, to me, this 911 call is just all over the place. And it's just like it's rehearsed to me. Like they all got together, decided to say what they were going to say, and then they called 911. That's what this sounds like to me. This is a rehearsed 911 call. Because for one, there's too many people there to be passing the phone around any damn way. That's not even normal behavior to do that. The only time one person takes the phone is when there's only one person hysterical and they're hollering and screaming and the operator don't understand what they're saying. So then they might say, the operator may say, was there somebody else there that can help me? Because I can't hear you. You're going to have to calm down. You're going to have to speak slower. Because I was listening to an audio of a crazy case. I think it was Florida. Somebody was shot. And the one thing the girl refused to tell him is that I think that she witnessed it. So she just kept screaming. And the operator was like, you need to calm down. I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, she's screaming and doing all that shit because she ain't really trying to tell you the truth that she witnessed the person get shot in the head. So she's basically screaming around the subject. I'm getting that same feeling right here. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Perspective. Hello, Lolo. That's what I'm getting here, a rehearsed 911 call. If I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong. But this is all I got. It's my perception. You released it. This is my perception. That's it. It don't sound right. Because now that we know what's in there on the 13th of November don't match this 911 call. Well, the 911 call shouldn't have ended when she said both of them, and then she says, oh, somebody's there, because she starts asking about the defibrillator and all that. So then once what I'm trying to say, once the person got there, a cop or whatever, he had the defibrillator, she just went on and ended the phone call. But where the operator messed up is when Dylan said both of them. She's supposed to say, whoa, hold up. What you mean both? You've been talking about one. You only said she was passed out. You didn't tell me that somebody else was up there. The operator didn't catch that. She couldn't have. Because I would have called Dylan out on it. What you mean both? I thought you just said it was one person up there. So that's what I'm trying to make everybody understand. If you could talk to the dispatcher for almost 4 minutes and you wait to the end of the call to finally say both, which alludes that there's another person in that room dead with Santa, how do I know you don't already know that they're dead up there? Bingo card. Come on with it, Queen. Y'all better wake up. Because one, I wasn't there. I don't know how long those girls were up texting each other and other people. I don't know if they called other people and texted other people. How do we know that other people didn't come to this house at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? We don't know. Ain't got no cameras. The only person that's got the camera is the house right there. This is the one that can tell the story. Whoever lives right there. Because they've got Ring camera. That's why I said they probably got him coming in and going out. Because if that house got audio 50 feet to that window there, you should have somebody going in and going out. So I've had to re-listen to this audio, and I'm now keep catching little things. And I want to thank Yvonne P. because she's the one that brought up the first situation in this audio that I didn't catch. God, I can't remember what it was. Oh, poor Kaylee. And guess what? Now that I think about it, this version, I don't think I hear poor Kaylee in this one. Let's finish this right quick. Let me see if I can catch it.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Hey, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, you have one. Are you talking to the officer? Yes. Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay.
Well, I just caught something there. Uh-oh, don't do it, Queen. I don't hear somebody whispering poor Kaylee in this audio. Why is that? Why is that, Vinnie Politan? In the original audio, one of the people in the chat told me, Queen, you got to go back and re-listen. Somebody says poor Kaylee or poor Katie. And I'm trying to figure out why would somebody be saying that if you don't know that Kaylee's dead upstairs alongside Maddie. And in this audio that seems like it's kind of cleaned up, Vinnie Politan, You don't have that part of the audio. Did you all extract that? Because, you know, Queen will go back and play the original. So nobody can think I'm making this shit up. We're going to play it one more time, and then I'm going to go dig up the original because you all cut that out of here, and I want to know why. It's bullshit. I don't know what the fuck is going on over here. Everybody's doing too much.
So I'm going to play for you the 911 call. I will warn you that it's extremely emotional and difficult, but it's the reality of what happened. It's evidence in the case, and it is important. It'll be important for the jury. It's an important part of telling the story of what happened.
Get on with it.
This happened in our house. We don't know what.
But it's the reality of what happened. It's evidence in the case, and it is important. It'll be important for the jury. It's an important part of telling the story of what happened to the Idaho 4. Let's listen.
911 location of your emergency. Something is happening. This happened in our house. We don't know what. What is the address of the emergency? 1122. What is the rest of the address? Oh, Kings Road. Okay. And is it a house or an apartment? It's a house. Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right? I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White Store next to them. I need someone to repeat the address for verification. The address, 1122 King Road. And what's the phone number that you're calling from? What's your phone number? And tell me exactly what's going on. One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she don't wake me up. Okay. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much? What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now? I don't know, but pretty much at 4 a.m. Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out? Yeah, I'll come. Come on, but we gotta go check. But we have to. Yes, what's wrong? She's not waking up. Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way. Thank you. Okay, and how old is she? She's 20. 20, you said? Yeah, 20. Here's my okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people. Hey, sorry, they just gave me the phone. Is she breathing? Hello? Is she breathing? No. Okay. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one. Are you talking to the officer? Yes. Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay.
I listened closely. Court TV, where's the whispering? There was whispering in the original audio. Where did it go? Where is the whispering? You all cut that out. Why? Don't make Queen make a video about Court TV. Because I want to know why you cut it out. Because I didn't hear it in this one. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to my community page and we're going to pull up the original. Stay woke, everybody. Welcome to the Vault XL. Hope you all are well. Now, don't tell me Court TV, y'all want to get with the bullshit too. Take the polls on my community page. There's a story running out of Georgia about daycare workers giving toddlers Benadryl. Is it wrong? Is it right? I'm assuming they've lost their job. They've also been charged with abuse. Weigh in, everybody. New prosecutor named in the trial of the woman that killed the pastor, Pastor Ricky Floyd, down in Memphis. She's out on bail, $100,000 bail, and now a new prosecutor is on the case because the prosecutor who works for the district attorney's office was friends or had worked with the late pastor, so they didn't want to conflict the interest, so now they've got a new prosecutor. At the end of the Idaho roommate's 911 call, Dylan says to the operator, yes, 20, both of them. Why didn't she, Bethany and Hunter, disclose that there were 2 people deceased? Why not? Then I also asked you about those twin brothers found on the mountain in Georgia. Do you believe they were unalive? 6% of you said yes, 88% of you said no, 6% of you not sure. They're saying it's homicide, suicide. Family says they don't believe that. There's also this new video out by News Nation pertaining to the knife sheath evidence. We can go over that before I check out of here. I'm going through my database. Also, the man down in Louisiana who was there to report the Super Bowl worked for Telemundo. Kansas City, he was found dead in a hotel room. This lady, Miss Colbert, she and a Ricky White have been arrested for murder of this said Hispanic news reporter. She's facing a murder charge, 2nd degree, and the other guy is facing theft charges. All right, everybody. Check my community page out. Any story I don't talk about, I will post commentary, to the page, not necessarily do a live stream about it. I'm just going through to find the video of the original 911 call. Thank you for joining me. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Movie of the week is Opus, now playing at a theater near you. All right, everybody. Also, Wendy Williams is out on the town in her scooter, so perhaps she's been released from that facility. Hopefully she'll get rid of that guardianship and she can go back to living her life. Hold on, everybody. I got so many things I share on this page. It's like too many videos. 2 years ago, I gave you all a virtual tour of the house. We can take a look at that if you like, in case those don't or have not seen what the house looked like before it was dismantled. Take the polls on my community page. This is all about Kohlberger and the kids. Dylan. Did Dylan know Kohlberger? 57 people voted, 14% yes, 51% no, 35% said not sure. Do you believe he tried to unalive Dylan and Bethany? 16% yes, 50% no, 34% not sure. Got a lot of questions, so take the polls, everybody. I do believe they have the right guy. I want to make sure I make that clear during this live stream. Here we go. Let's go to the original and tell me what you hear in this original 911 call, 4 minutes, 27 seconds, that you didn't hear in the court TV. Audio. They cut out the whispering. I want to know why. Because I didn't even catch it at first when I first heard it.
AM 42, 2nd November 13, 2022. 911 location of your emergency.
I've been talking to her. I don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Occupancy Road.
rent a permit?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White Store. We're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. Sorry,
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah.
Right there, because I wasn't going to interrupt it. We now know that nobody was passed out outside because she asked her, who is passed out? Stop passing the phone around. Who is passed out? Right here. Evidence. Nobody was passed out outside. So who started the lie, the rumor that somebody was passed out in front of King Road home? I want to know. Because we believed this for 2 years that one of these girls had passed out. She's specifically asking right there, because there's people standing there. Who's passed out? She don't mention nobody.
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, let's go check. But we have to. Is this hospital?
Right there, you hear Hunter calling their names. Xana, Ethan. It's more clear on this one than the court TV audio. Xana, Ethan. You all already went up there and checked on those kids. That's the reason why you all called 911 in the first place. Am I correct? Or, because I'm confused. You called 911, obviously, because somebody's passed out, but you don't know that they're passed out. But then now you're going in the house and Hunter's calling them by their name. This don't make no sense.
She's not waking up.
Okay.
So she's not waking up. Hunter is still calling her name out. And yet I don't hear anything about, oh my God, she's bloody. Oh my God, it smells in here. The hell is going on here? They are dead. There is no way in hell you gonna tell me y'all didn't know them kids were dead in there before you called 911. What is really going on here? I don't give a damn what Mr. Gonzalez is talking about. He's living in a bubble. I'm not. Because that's when it happened. Something is off here. They're calling their names. Oh, she's not waking up. Still, you don't hear nothing about Ethan in there. But yet you're calling his name, but you don't talk about him in the description at the beginning of this audio. Why not? This is bullshit.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
Right there. 247. Dylan, what did you just whisper? What did you just whisper? Because I didn't hear that in the court TV audio. Because I believe y'all fuzzed that out. Why, I don't know. She's breathing hard, and then she whispers something. And it does sound like she's saying, poor Kaylee. And why would you be saying that if you're in the room with Xana and Ethan? Help me understand. Why do we not hear nothing about Ethan at the beginning of this live stream? And then when you all get up there, because she tells you to go up there and check on the girl, that's when you all start calling for their names out, which should be confusing to the dispatcher. Because what she should be saying is, well, wait a minute. They called me telling me somebody was passed out. They didn't tell me that 2 people were passed out. Man, you all full of shit. Right there. Poor Kaylee.
Okay, and how old is she?
He's telling them to get out, get out, get out. So do you believe this was their first time being anywhere near the bodies? So are they standing outside the door and he's in the room? Is this rehearsed? That's all I want to know. Hello, Pale Rider. Thank you for joining me. Is this rehearsed? Because some people feel like this commentary that you're listening to in this audio is genuine, raw, uncut, unfiltered, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I believe that. And the reason why I say this is because you have to have a start. And the start is that you thought somebody was passed out in the house. You can't think it. You're either seeing it or you're not. You heard it, you didn't. So you originally called 911 to say that she is passed out. You never gave a name of the person to the dispatcher. You never even said that it was a guy and a girl in the same room. And yet when she tells you to go check on the person, this is when we find out you want to start now calling them by their government names, which should have thrown the dispatcher off like, wait a minute, I thought this was only one person up here. You don't describe the scene. You don't describe Ethan. You don't describe there's another person up there. You don't describe nothing. Just passed out, passed out, passed out. And then finally now he's saying, get out, get out. So this is your first time, Hunter, seeing the people and realizing they are dead, obviously. But where this is a problem, they couldn't have been no more dead and passed out than when you first went up there and then said, hey, let's go call 911. Help. Jeanette, kiss my black ass. That's what you do. Kiss my black ass. I can blame whoever the fuck I want to blame. As I've said before, because you don't follow this network, I never said they killed the kids, and I don't have to keep saying it. What I'm saying is this 911 call is off. So you go play in somebody else's playhouse. You don't follow me. You don't follow my content. You don't know what I talk about over here. So don't come in this chat all of 2 seconds and start telling me what I can say. This call is off. You got at least 4 people here who are passing the phone around. That don't even make sense anyway. It don't take 4 people to tell no story. Only 2 are living. So why would you need 2 other people there to pass the phone around? You don't. Does that mean they were there before they called 911? That's the point. The fact that the girl who's talking, she's pretending to be a roommate, but she ain't. And for your fucking information, when you go to court, they're going to play this fucking call in there. And 12 members of the jury are going to be thinking the same thing I'm saying. Okay, you're telling me this man killed these kids, but this call don't match the scene. Why not? These kids weren't passed out, they're dead. And if you were up there and you saw them, wouldn't you be shaking them? Hey, get up, get up, get up. Wouldn't you see blood? Wouldn't you smell blood? Okay, so then you would go call 911 and you would describe what you're seeing. This 911 call does not depict people butchered. And somebody on that jury, that's what they're going to think to themselves. Okay, well, wait a minute. We've got pictures of butchered people, but we've got testimony from EMT, fire, whoever. But when I listen to the 911 call, it don't match what they found in the house. Why not? All we hear is somebody blubbering at the beginning of this a call. She don't know nothing. The lady's asking her, well, what happened? I don't want to hear about a masked man. I want to hear about right now. Is somebody passed out right now? Exactly, because you're the one calling. The dispatcher don't know what's going on in his house. She don't know there's 4 dead people in there. How would she know that? Exactly, Pill Rider. It's obvious. You knew those kids were dead because they ain't no more dead and passed out than when you first saw them versus when you called 911. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's dead. There's no in between. And all these people playing hot potato with a phone, that ain't normal. You live in the house, but you telling the operator, I don't know what happened. Okay, well, if you don't know what happened, then why are these other people there? You come for me, baby, you better come correct.
20, you said?
Yes, 20 here. Okay.
Hello? Hello? Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people. Hey, sorry,
Exactly.
give me the phone. Is she breathing? Hello? Is she breathing? No. Okay. Talk to them, say, I can't talk to them, they need you to talk to them.
Hello.
Okay. I've already...
And that's, now we have Hunter saying, they don't want to talk to me. Exactly. Because she can't get an understanding with different people hogging the phone, and it don't look good. This would be different if this was a 2-party situation and somebody actually passed out who couldn't talk on the phone. Then the person standing would have to take the phone, right? And then they would have to tell what they have witnessed. But you have 4 people who obviously know what was in that room. Because as I just said, it defeats the purpose of the 911 call if you hadn't looked in the room. Duh. So why are they downplaying what's in the room? That's what I don't get. And I don't apologize for that. I didn't make the 911 call. So you can live in a bubble if you want, that's your business. I live in a real fucking world. I live in a world where this call don't match what was in that house. How about that? This call don't match what's in that house. So you can think whatever you want to think. I don't really care. I sleep good at night. And you know why I sleep good at night? Because I have a discerning spirit. And the same spirit that tells me to keep listening to this audio, it's because my spirit told me this shit ain't right. And my spirit ain't fucking failed me yet. We know the kids are dead. Possibly they couldn't be saved, but that don't matter. We don't know. We weren't there to say who could have been saved and not saved. The coroner has to tell us nobody could have been saved within this amount of minutes, seconds, hour, whatever. That lady has to tell us that, not bystanders typing under a YouTube video. This shit ain't right. And anybody with some sense know this ain't right. It don't take no 4 people, 5 people to talk on no phone. And that lady, she's not a detective, she's a dispatcher. She needs to know what's the emergency. How is she supposed to get somebody help? She don't even know what the hell's going on. Exactly, Cindy. It don't. Exactly, red flag. Because like I said, if you were a new person to this story and you heard this call, you would not think somebody's in that house dead by listening to this 4-minute call. And that, my dear, is going to be relevant when it's time for court, because everything is relevant. Everything. Every piece of evidence, data, CCTV footage, everything matters. Everything. Even that damn DNA that's on the wall by the rail that they didn't test, which they should have put in CODIS, the state, test it all, because you don't want that damn boy getting off for killing these kids. You can't pick and choose which evidence you want to test and don't test. Test everything. Because that's still floating in the air, the unknown DNA on the handrail. And I thought it was just DNA. They're talking about blood. I thought, what the hell? I learned that today. And that video's from 3 weeks ago from Court TV. You test everything. But I believe they have a lot of evidence against Kohlberger that puts him at the scene, car sitting there, twirling around. They know that because they probably got it on video. But did he have help? I don't know. If he did, would he tell on the person? If he did, had help, he ain't telling. And I believe, naturally, a person can kill 4 or 5 people. It's happened before. Got cases all over the United States where a person went in and bludgeoned 4 or 5 people. So it can be done. It has been done. So a person don't necessarily have to have a co-conspirator. BTK, he killed, what, 4 or 5 people in one family, same time. But my point is this phone shuffling, this nondescript of the scene, no mentioning of Ethan at the beginning of this audio, which is bizarre to me. If you know you've been up there, you know that 2 people are in that room allegedly passed out. Why aren't you saying they? It's all about Xana until the lady asks, well, how old is the victim? And she says 20. And then she says, both of them. You're going to wait 2 minutes into the live, to this audio, to now finally tell this dispatcher there are 2 people passed out? Why? That don't make no sense. Said he was there, but was he alone? What do you mean? You mean, did he have help?
You sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Say that again? There's a police here right now.
Okay. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when.
Again? There's a police here right now.
Okay. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
We don't have it. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, you have one.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay. 11.
As it has been said recently pertaining to this case, The jury will be able to ask questions about everything they hear in court, okay? They can ask questions. And we do see this during trials. They'll take a little short break, recess, whatever, to dissect what has been revealed to them in court. And that's your job. You're supposed to ask questions. You don't want jury members that don't ask questions, because when they don't ask questions, that means they're not into rendering a verdict. They want out. They want off the jury panel. And that's the worst thing you can have. People who are disinterested in the information. So I pray that each jury member will ask questions about everything that is revealed to him or her during this trial. And you, little smart ass heifer that come up in here, somebody's going to ask about this 911 call. You can best believe that. And I got a feeling it's going to be more than one fucking jury member, unless they're all high on fentanyl. Because there's no way I'm going to sit here and listen to this as a jury member and not have no questions. Oh, okay. They don't know nothing. Oh, I thought it was 2 people dead in that room. Well, why are we just not hearing about it 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the damn audio? As I said, these kids saw them before they called 911 and passed out than they were when the girl told you to go up there and check. See, Bethany told the story. When Dylan told her, come on, let's go, Bethany didn't want to go back in there because she knew they were dead. Duh. I'm woke. You all better wake up. They may not have killed these kids. They may not have planned. They may not know Korberger, but their behavior in this 911 call says they know more than what they're relaying in the call. That's my point. I don't feel like they're being truthful. That's why you have to listen. And if you got one person starting out the call saying, I don't know nothing, we don't know nothing, then why 2 minutes into it, the lady's telling you, well, I need you to go check on the victim to see if she's breathing. You hear Dylan telling her, come on, let's go. We gotta. That means Bethany was making faces like, I ain't going back in there. I ain't going back in there. Well, they just passed out, remember? You don't know nothing. Just saying. You don't know nothing. So if you don't know nothing, you don't know what happened with the guy walking by in the mask, why would you have a problem going back into the house to check on your friend? Exactly. Someone didn't want to go in there again. How come? Exactly. Because you've already seen it. We can't deny that at this point of the story. They had to have seen it because that defeats the purpose of this 4-minute, 26-second 911 call. How's anybody missing this? Come on now. You all have finished the 12th grade. Stop this bullshit. You had to have seen it because why are we listening to a 4-minute 911 call? What is the purpose of this then? Hello? University of Idaho murders. 911 call November 13, 2022. Why are we listening to this if it's nothing? Because you already was in there. Who can't understand that? The call is because you saw the dead people that you want to tell the dispatcher are passed out, which I don't understand. Why are you not just telling this lady the truth of what you saw? What is the big deal? They're dead. Stop the victim blaming. them to stop lying. How about that? Those 4 kids are dead. They ain't coming back. So miss me with this bullshit like, oh, we're supposed to sugarcoat now the 911 call. Well, you sound like the defense attorney. She don't want the sheath admitted in court. She wants her client to be all charges dismissed. That's what I told everybody. Well, we're going to dismiss the 911 call. We might as well not even be talking about the damn case. You can't just glaze over shit because you don't like what you're hearing. You feel like that, then go to that cemetery and talk to them 4 dead kids. That's what you do. Because they're not coming back. Whether they could have been saved or not, Kohlberger could have been caught had somebody got up and called 911. That's the point. That boy could have went out here and killed some more fucking people in 1 month. That's the point. You sound like a fucking fool. Nobody could have been saved. Well, Mr. Gonsalves, you might need to think before speaking. A madman was loose for 1 month. So that's a stupid thing to say. Nobody could have been saved. Nobody should be victim blaming. Kohlberger was walking around free. Oh, and here's the latest. He took a picture of himself in his bathroom with thumbs up. What you think that meant? Ah. Queen saw that today on Court TV. Shall I play it for everybody, or was it News Nation? You know what thumbs up meant? Go ahead and break it down, Queen, because somebody's slow. I did that. I killed 4 people. I went back to the scene. I even sat outside. No ambulance, no fire truck, nobody. I did that 4 times, and I'm free like OJ all day. So I'm getting ready to stand in my bathroom, freshly showered, my white button-up shirt, thumbs up, because I ain't caught. Checkmate. I'll play it for you, sweetie. You all better wake up. Stop this damn bullshit. There's nothing they could have done. They couldn't have saved him. Okay. That's a fool talking. A plumb damn fool. And that boy was walking around here free after he done killed 4 people. You don't know what the hell he could have done. Could have killed some more damn kids. Hold on, let me find it. News Nation. Lordy. Hold on, everybody. News Nation, Kohlberger. It's probably not gonna type up good. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you all so much for joining me. Appreciate it. We're just dissecting everything said in the 911 call. So each day I'm bringing you a little bit of what I'm gathering from the call. I feel like the call is bogus. I do not feel like the call is genuine. As I said, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But that's my perception. I don't think it's genuine.
Senior national correspondent Brian Enton, who's been covering this case since the very beginning. Brian, I know that literally up until this moment, you have been going through these court docs, and I think you're still going through them. So there may be more shoes to drop, but let's start with what we know. And let's just start with that K-bar knife, because, I felt like the biggest moment in this case was that they found the knife sheath. And then the second biggest moment was that they figured out DNA on the snap, that little spot here on the knife sheath, the thing that snaps it shut. That's where that little tiny speck of DNA was, and that it matched Brian Kohlberger. But now we have him in court documents from Amazon buying a K-bar knife, a sheath and a sharpener.
Yeah, more than 100 pages of court documents came out just within the last couple of hours, and this was buried in the documents. And you mentioned it. I mean, this is a massive deal. This is a huge couple of hours, and this was buried in the document. Yeah, more than 100 pages of court documents came out just within the last couple of hours, and this...
Sheath and a sharpener. It's from Amazon, buying a K-bar knife, a sheath, and a sharpener.
Well, now, BK, what's your answer to that? Where's the knife and where's the sharpener? Excuse me. See, that's why you were busy and you had never went to sleep when you got back to your apartment at Washington State University, because you were busy getting rid of everything. Clothes, shoes, probably went somewhere and cleaned out your excuse me, car. I believe you had a tarp in your car. You had something. Now we learned you ordered these things off of Amazon. And now there's going to be something that's going to be revealed that some of you probably didn't know. And you're going to hear it right here live, everybody, when he purchased those things.
Yeah, more than 100 pages of court documents came out just within the last couple of hours, and this was buried in the documents. And you mentioned it. I mean, this is a massive deal. This is a huge, huge piece of evidence, something very, very helpful to the prosecution. They are saying that between March 20th and March 30th of 2022, so that would be about 8 months before the murders happened, that Brian Kohlberger, through his Amazon account, bought the K-bar knife, bought the sheath, and also bought a sharpener.
8 months. So this is why about a year or two ago, News Nation asked the question, had he been stalking the girls a year beforehand? And I told myself it wouldn't shock me. None, because I thought I remembered them saying he had went to Washington State to visit the spring of 2022 before moving fully on the housing campus, okay? So if he went there in spring, it will make you wonder that he already had knowledge of the girls before even starting class. Stay woke, everybody. This puts a whole new spin on everything, because now they have a timeline of the purchase on Amazon. And 2 of those items were missing from the search of the apartment. Let's hear Banfield tell you about that.
So what I thought was also interesting, and I may be, superimposing my thoughts over their documents here, but it felt to me that the prosecution was making its case by saying we did not cherry pick. We didn't cherry pick anything. What we did was we found a purchase of what was a murder weapon, similar to a murder weapon and a sheath. And also, we looked at other activity, and never did he seem to be a hunter. Never did he seem to be a fisherman buying this stuff all the time. It seemed to be just this one time that he bought this kind of weapon.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they looked at all of the activity, all of the Amazon activity for several different time periods leading up to the murders. And what's interesting is the way we found this out is there's filings going back and forth between the defense and the prosecution, because the defense is trying to get a lot of this Amazon information and Amazon activity thrown out.
Well, I'm going to jump in right here. Annie, girl, Annie, you just want the whole case tossed, don't you? You want the case tossed because you know they have all these things that look highly suspicious pertaining to your client. Okay? Phone cut off right before going to the crime scene, miraculously cuts itself back on hours later, which would have been when he got back to Washington. Car in the area, looks like his car. DNA on the sheath. Oh, don't know how that got there. Knife missing, sharpener missing, but he didn't do nothing. Now, that's not including the data from his phone, putting him at the house 12 times before the 13th. Now, pay attention now. 12 times you have been over there at King Road doing what exactly? Then you killed the kids. That'll make 13 times. Then you came back hours later. That'll make 14 times. And that ain't including times that they probably don't got no record. But we know you were stupid to do it 14 times. We're just going to go on and say you've been there 14 times. Okay? So as I said before, the house next door has audio, which would lead us to believe it also has visual on a Ring camera of somebody whimpering and a thud. I won't doubt they have Mr. Korberger going in, coming out. Take your pick. So Annie Taylor, you do have a big problem, you and Mr. Korberger. Where is the knife and the knife sharpener, Christopher?
Obviously, I mean, now we know why. It's damning to Brian Kohberger. So they've been saying, hey, the state is cherry picking, some of this stuff shouldn't be included. And in those filings back and forth, that's where this massive tidbit was, right, buried in the documents that Brian Kohberger had bought the knife on Amazon.
Sure, we'll be interested to find out what his answers are to where is that knife that you proudly bought. It wasn't in any of, well, we don't know, but I didn't see it on a manifest of any of the search warrants at his apartment or in Pennsylvania. I didn't see a K-bar knife, a knife sharpener, or a knife sheath in anything that they were able to seize from all the places that they searched of his. So it would be interesting if this had nothing to do with anything, then where's your precious K-bar knife that you spent all that money on, on Amazon back in March? And he, better have a pretty good answer for that. Let me jump to that selfie. It just sent chills down my spine.
Pay attention, everybody.
To see him showered up and giving the thumbs up and being super proud, looking freshly washed right in front of the shower. And this was exactly at, was it 10:39, that photograph that was taken?
10:31 a.m.
10:31.
November 13th, so the day of the murders. The murders happened sometime around 4 a.m. This is 10:31 a.m. I was looking at it really close.
Wow. Exactly. 6 hours later, you're taking a selfie in front of a shower. Korberger. What were you saying in that selfie? I got away. You got away with killing 4 kids for 1 month. That's what the selfie's about. I'm looking good. I just killed 4 kids. Even went back to the crime scene. Washington State's only 15 minutes away. So you left outside that house at about what, 9:20, 9:30? Shimmied on back over to Washington State, did whatever, jumped in the shower, combed your hair, and took a photograph. Hot damn. Wow. The things people do.
Closely, it looks like maybe he's in the bathroom, like in front of a shower, if you look closely. And this, again, was just sort of buried in these new court documents. We haven't really seen photos of him like this before, but they recovered this photo from his phone. And the reason that the prosecution is so interested in this photo is because of roommate Dylan's account that he had, that whoever came into their home had bushy eyebrows. That was one of the main things that she said. So this is apparently the photo closest to that time period of when the murders happened. And the prosecution wants to use this photo at trial to show the jury so they can look at this picture for themselves and decide whether or not, he's got bushy eyebrows.
Wow, super clever, right? Prosecutors can say, this is 10:30 in the morning, and look at the bushy eyebrows that, couldn't have possibly been plucked 6 hours before if this is the guy that Dylan saw. But, there's the double entendre here, and that is he is freshly showered and proud. Why? 6 hours after the murder. And an hour and a half prior to the 911 call even being placed. This is the photo he is taking of himself in front of the shower. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find news.
Bought a account, bought the K-bar knife, bought the sheath, and also bought a sharpener.
Wow.
So what I thought was also interesting, and I may be, superimposing my thoughts over their documents here, but it felt to me that the prosecution was making its case by saying we did not cherry pick. We didn't cherry pick anything. What we did was we found a purchase of what was a murder weapon, similar to a murder weapon and a sheath, and also we other activity.
No way Kohlberger being a suspect is incidental. No way. I want you to look at that knife, as I was saying earlier in my commentary. This is just a replica of what they believe the type of knife used to unalive the kids. I want you to take a good look at that knife. Look at the size, look at the sheath. Okay? Look at the size of that knife. It's a very large knife. No way in hell that style of knife used to unalive 4 people would not leave carnage, damage, visual. So going back to the 911 call, how is it that these kids didn't notice the damage from this thing on 2 people on the 2nd floor? Okay? No mentioning of anyone being bludgeoned to death, blood, smell of death, blood, nothing. Make it make sense. Now, day of, 6 hours later, this thing, who is believed to be the perpetrator, who don't take a lot of pictures, I'm assuming, or photographs of himself on social media, took this photograph at 10:31, November 13th. Okay? 6.5 hours later, after committing a brutal crime, times 4. Thumbs up. Fresh and clean. Basically, making a mockery out of what he's done. I do believe he's the killer. I believe the state has the right person. I pray that there will be justice for these children. But when you are dealing with true crime, you do have to wait. Everything's said. And naturally, things aren't going to make sense because, one, you don't know the people, you don't know the perpetrator, you don't know how these people were living. But what I do know is that I believe this man is the right man, but I also believe the 911 call is suspect. And that's my opinion. It's suspect. I'm not here to say these kids know this man, hung around him, dated him. All I'm saying, something ain't right. And some people might want to glaze over the 911 call and just say, well, it don't matter. He's the killer. That's all that matters. But that's not realistic. That's not how true crime and trial works. You're going to have 12 random people sitting beside each other weighing this man's life and what the state has brought forward and what the defense has brought forward. The defense don't really have anything. All they've got is he didn't leave nothing behind. That's all they got, except for the DNA on the sheath. They don't have anyone to vouch for him. They don't have anyone to say shit. But the point is, when you go to trial, you're supposed to listen to everything introduced. That's just the way it goes. Because you are talking about the life of a human being, whether you think he did it or didn't do it. So you're supposed to listen to everything. And as I said before in my commentary, past couple of days of listening to this 911 call, it's just off to me. And that's my public opinion. I don't have any shame in saying that because that's the whole point. What I see, you don't see. What I hear, you don't hear. Just like somebody heard somebody say poor Kaylee in that audio. I didn't hear that at first. So I had to go back and re-listen. And as you see, Court TV, they don't have that in their audio, which I'm trying to figure out why. But yet when I go back just now and play the full audio, you could hear Dylan or whomever whispering, poor Kaylee, poor somebody with a letter starts with a C or a K. What are you talking about? Why would you be saying poor Kaylee when you're only seeing Ethan and Xana dead? Something's off. Just leave it at that. Like I said, whether they are involved or not involved, know this guy, don't know him, you still can't explain their behavior that morning. And it matters. Can't just glide over it and say, well, it's no big deal. They ain't got no proof they did nothing. It does matter. Because for 1 month, them not calling 911, this thing roamed the earth. We don't know what this fucker was doing for 1 month free. That's the point. And if they were able to gather a description, bushy eyebrows from Dylan, a white elantra, and trailed it to him over at that university, just imagine what they would have, how quick he would have been apprehended had somebody called 911. That's the point. It did matter, Mr. Gonsalves. It did matter. Every second, a freak of nature walking the street, it does matter. Because now we have information of a knife and knife sharpener and sheath purchase 8 months before the murders. So now we got to ask that question. When did he have contact or knowledge of these girls and the target? Checkmate. Who was the target? When did they become the target? Why did he buy this knife, sheath, and sharpener? Where is the knife and the sharpener? Make it make sense. Did he intentionally, as I said before, years ago, did he intentionally apply to Washington State to get close to the target, number one? Did he apply to Washington State to unalive the targets? Number three. Did he apply to Idaho but didn't get accepted and then apply to Washington State? Because see, we don't really know when he came in contact with these girls. Originally found them on IG, a poster, anything of the school. Who's to say he didn't look up their school and say, oh, they got a nice program. Let me open it up, open up a booklet, a leaflet, and one of the girls could have been in there. See, you don't know. You don't know. But the way it's looking, he's bought a knife that's missing, sharpener missing, 8 months before the kids died. And he's not a hunter. He's not a knife collector. So then you got to ask the obvious question. Why did he buy this size knife? What was the point? What was the purpose? Naturally, the defense can argue, well, he's a guy. He needs protection. So then you got to ask that question. Was he walking around with this knife at the school and in his daily life? Bingo card. Keep it in his car. Bingo card. I'm woke. Did Korberger keep a knife on him at all times? Can somebody say, yes, I've seen this knife. He showed it to us. He carried it with him. He kept it in his car, under the seat, wherever. Glove box. Make it make sense. Yes, Cindy, it is suspicious. And that's why I said you can't glaze over it because they have a suspect. And that's basically what Mr. Gonsalves and his family feels. Don't worry about the 911 call. They got the right guy. But everything matters in a case because that's what people don't seem to understand on how some people end up walking free. Somebody weighs something differently than the other people, and now they're bickering and arguing over who's guilty and who's not. There are many people who've gone to trial and they had evidence that directly linked them to a crime, circumstantial was high, and they walked free. We don't want that to happen here. We don't want that to happen here. So that's the reason why Annie Taylor don't want nothing brought into the trial, which is so ridiculous, because she knows that everything the state has links this fella here to these victims and to that house. You're entitled to go wherever you want. You're entitled to stargaze. You're entitled to buy a knife, a gun, a rifle, taser. But when it's linked to a crime scene, your data is linked to a crime scene, there's things in your phone pertaining to dead people, yeah, that's a problem. Because I can know somebody right now out here in the street, and they pass away from a brutal crime. There shouldn't be anything in my phone that would look suspicious to tie me to him or her, unless we've crossed paths with one another. And when it's too many things, such as DNA, my phone pinging at their house, I've purchased a weapon that mimics a weapon used, then yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Yes, he does fancy. I believe Kohlberger took this picture to gloat. He was telling the universe, you all don't know, but you're going to soon find out. The 4 people are dead in an Idaho home, and I did that. But I can't tell you. But I sure can gloat about it, smile about it, smirk about it in my selfie. I know the secret that you don't know. I'm feeling good about myself today because I just killed 4 people and left 2 alive. I even went back to the crime scene and sat outside their house trying to debate if I want to go back in and kill the other 2 and or get the sheath. I did that, and I'm proud about it. And I'm going to take a selfie and show you I'm in a good mood today. Happy Sunday. And little did people know what was going to transpire a month later. That this nondescript white guy will be arrested for quadruple homicide. So you can best believe, as I have always said pertaining to crime, there is always somebody that will uphold the perpetrator, brag about the perpetrator, say they didn't do it, they ain't that type. And I'm sure there's somebody in the universe that will say the same about Mr. Kohlberger, okay? But the point is, you don't know people. Did he strike his own friends and family as odd, weird, quirky? Of course, surely. But did they think he would murder people? That's the difference. Capable of murder. Act homicidal, violent, don't know. But what we do know, the state believes this man killed those kids. And I think they have a good case, and I'm good evidence. And frankly, you know they have more than what they've told us. They have to. They don't show their hand immediately. And I got a feeling that somebody can identify him. And I'm not speaking of Dylan. I'm not speaking of Dylan. I got a feeling somebody has him on video walking about King Road, walking in the driveway. Could have been walking up and down that street during those 12 times, pretending that he's, just strolling. Because frankly, you can't really learn a lot just by driving by somebody's house, driving by a building or a structure. You're going to have to get out. You can sit only so long, but at some point you're going to have to get out of the car if you get my drift. And I won't doubt that somebody possibly has video of him driving up and down the street, sitting outside, parking up there at that apartment building. You know, standing back there, you have a bullseye view of the back of that house. I mean, literally a bullseye view, top to bottom. You can just stand there for hours gaping. Full bloom, trees, foliage. Nobody can even see you standing there, especially at night, right? Looking out my window or my glass door to see you staring back at me. But I won't doubt he probably did that. He probably pulled up a Google map, looked at every angle of the homes, the houses, the vantage points, and he's probably rode those streets, God knows how many times, looking and lurking, parking his car, getting a vantage point of that house. And the best vantage point is, like I said, up there on the hill where the apartment building sits to the right of the house. You can just stand back there and just gape down and look through the trees at the kids. Look at the top floor, which I believe would have been Kaylee's room, and then the bottom one, which would be the door to the kitchen. You just sit there and gape all damn day. Nobody knows nothing. And that's what I find so interesting about this case is I'm wondering if any of these kids felt that they were being watched, being stalked. Did they ever get any letters, cards, notes, anything ever come up missing in their house? Anything strange sent to the girls? Any of them felt like they were being followed? Any notes on their car? Because, as I said, you can only look in the glass so long. You want to get out, you want to touch what's inside of the glass. The window, rather. Pretty coat, pretty suit. Well, I'm tired of just looking at the glass. I'm tired of putting my nose and face up to the glass, my fingerprints to the glass. I got to go in this store and check this item out. So I do believe he's walked the perimeter of 1122 King Road. I do believe he's walked the perimeter. And as Ms. Gonsalves said, she believes he's been inside. He could have been. Because 12 times going to someone's domain before killing them, you may want to do a dry run. And that would be seeing if you could get in a house undetected. And let's be truthful. He did do that on the morning of the 13th. He was caught, of course, but he did make it in and make it out on that fateful morning. So it wouldn't be a far-fetched, far out theory to think he hadn't been in that house before and nobody knew he had been in there. And that's even more creepy. If we find out Kohlberger has been inside of this house with or without the participants in the house. Now, some of you are going to say, damn, Queen, stop it. Hey, you got to think like that. Because he was brazen enough to go in these kids' home with them in it. And the chief told you the house was not broken into. So there were no windows breached. There were no doors breached. Okay? There were no doors breached. There were no break-in. So now you got to ask, was this a fluke that he was able to get in the house? He went through the glass door, or have the doors always been unlocked? And as I had said to you all before, it was a recipe for disaster pertaining to this house and these kids, because you cannot leave your doors unlocked. You cannot assume, well, I live in a small town, we don't have a lot of crime, nothing bad is going to happen to us. Well, that's usually when something bad happens, because something bad, you don't know people. Oh, nobody from Idaho would do this. None of these college kids would do this. It's only a matter of time you're going to hear something bad about some of the kids that hung with them, because that's the point. You don't know people. And what's even more creepy, he's possibly been in this house with the kids there. They didn't hear or sense anything. He stalked them 8 months or a year or longer. He deliberately applied to school out west to be near the target. That's creepy as hell. Yes, very true. Could have came in with some people, You're right. Like he was a party goer. He could have watched some kids that were friends with them, learned their name, and then, you know, good point. Sneak in one day, and if somebody asks, hey, who are you with? Oh, I'm here with Bob, or I know Bob. See, you don't know. And the dead people can't tell us if they ever noticed Kohlberger coming in their house as a party guest, because they're not here to tell us. Now, what will these two survivors tell us? Yes, I've seen him on campus. Yes, I've seen him at my job. Yes, I've seen him walking by with a dog or lurking about. What will these two females tell us about Mr. Kohlberger? Will they tell us they've never seen him, heard of him? He never got in their DM. He never messaged them on IG, Facebook. What are they going to tell us? Because what they've told us in the 911 call is bullshit. I told you all before I checked out of here, I was going to take you on a tour of the house. The house is no longer there. The owner sold the house to the university, and it has been demolished. I would like to see the site myself, because I haven't seen what it looks like now. I have not gone to Google to check since they tore the house down. But we are going to go to my community page, and we're going to take a quick tour of the house, if you all don't mind. Just for those who have not seen the inside of the house, you never looked at the house. You didn't ever go inside of it by Google search. We'll take a brief look. Feel free to check out my community page for said updates. The content I just played you is by News Nation. This is information pertaining to the knife and the sheath and the sharpener. He purchased these items March 2022, and 2 of those items are missing currently. They were not in any of the searches of his Washington State apartment, university apartment, or his parents' home in Pennsylvania. That's a brand new update, everybody. All righty. 1 second. Happy birthday. I've been meaning to bring y'all a video about that interracial couple, stepbrother and sister, dating and got a kid. Oh, Lord of mercy, what a mess. Sorry I'm late on that. I was supposed to bring you all that days ago, but I got sidetracked with all these new updates. Well, I thought I had it on here. Oh, I hope I didn't pass it. I share so much content, it's hard to keep up. Here we go, everybody. Going back, everybody. Welcome to the Vault Excel.
It is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you for joining me.
That was my old channel name.
That belonged to the University of Idaho students that were brutally murdered. Front door. Stairs. So if you're coming in, that will be to your left. First floor on the bedroom. First bedroom, 2B. Shower, toilet, laundry room, there, room 1A, back around to the stairs, and front door. Let's go.
DNA is discovered somewhere, I believe, in one of these landing here, the railing. Allegedly blood, don't know when it was put there, and they don't know who it belongs to. But allegedly it belongs to a male. That's been the latest developments the past couple of weeks pertaining to this Kohlberger trial, upcoming trial, and evidentiary material. Whose DNA is it? Is it relevant to the case? And why didn't the state send that DNA into CODIS? Is it because they were adamant that Korberger is their suspect and they decided they didn't need to take that DNA and send it in? You should have sent it in. Don't ever leave anything out that could come back and bite you in the ass. And right now, that's an issue of unknown DNA on this railing going up those stairs to the second floor.
Up the stairs. Second floor. To hallway, front door. Bedroom. Oh, excuse me. This is downstairs. I'm sorry. Bedroom 1. Surviving roommate. Excuse me. This will be a small closet. Windows. First floor.
Face the parking lot.
Closet. That goes to the hallway. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. 1B. Surviving roommate. Looks like built-in desk or so. Closet.
No, we're visiting. We're visiting your mother's house.
Bedroom 1A goes
That's
back
what we're
out
doing.
to the hallway. We're now upstairs, left of the front door. As you see, this is a living area. Excuse me. Window upstairs, the one that faces the driveway. That would be to your left. Living space. Railing that you can look over if you were in the house. Bedroom 2B. And then a kitchen area to go into, which will be the second level, ground level. Let's see what's in there. Here's our view coming up the stairs, the living area. Entry to go into a hall, and then that would be to go up to the third level. Bedroom 2B, as you see, it is around the corner from bedroom 2A, second floor. Glass door will be over there in that corner behind that wall. Please pay attention. Bedroom over here by itself. Railing, you could look over, look down, see stairs, and see doors. Front doors and also bedroom doors if you went down the stairs.
Sorry about that. Brief intermission. Hello, everybody. Giving you a virtual tour of the house of 1122 King Road that is no longer there. It's been demolished by the school.
Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. I think I'm moving too fast. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about this. All right, second floor. We just came out of there, and we just walked. Those stairs are going to take us to the third floor. That's our second bedroom. That is right adjacent to the stair landing. We just came out of that living room. We're now coming into the hallway. Stairs going up to the third floor. First bedroom on the second level, near the stairs. But remember, if we go around that corner, there's a bedroom back in that corner, and that will be the window facing the street. Here is our kitchen view of the second floor.
This
window,
room is Xana's,
which is
Dylan's
also the ground
room.
level, coming up from the back. Here is that ground level, which is the second level. Here are the sliding doors that we believe the perpetrator may have used if unlocked. Two windows that the killer could have came through. Please note that when you go back and look at a certain video, News Nation, there is a screen lying down on that level right around near that corner. There is a screen on the ground. Did the perpetrator remove the screen? Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Area view, window above the sink. Did he come through there? Number one. Come through this sliding door, ground level, second level, number two. Number three, this window here. You can basically step into that window and know that there is a screen lying down on the ground in video footage that I just saw last night on News Nation. Area view of the kitchen. Now back around, hallway. Bedroom 2A. This wall where red substance seen tracking on the outside. Bedroom 2B. Window. Closet. Bathroom right there when you step outside of that room, which will be the hallway. Second floor closet. Bedroom 1A. Closet.
Room.
Give you a peripheral view. There's your closet. There's your view of your kitchen, second floor. Let's go all the way around. Now, here's our view to show you second level living area. And like I said, if you were to walk in from the kitchen coming this way, walk out, common sense would tell you those are stairs going down. That is why you see a rail right there, wooden rail. And then we have this partition here, which would separate the flooring to go down. So naturally, you could look over to see that there is a downstairs, a front door, and those two bedrooms I've already showed you. Going back around 360, bedroom 1. This is off the kitchen, everybody, please.
This is Dylan's room, everyone. This is the room where a surviving roommate lived, Dylan. So as you can see, her room faces the kitchen. And those stairs going up lead to 2 bedrooms. One belonging to Kaylee, who moved out, and then Maddie. And I think Maddie's bedroom would be above this wall, this ceiling here. Now, looking at this visual, think about noise, barking dog, somebody whimpering, somebody saying, I'm going to help you. She's opening and closing this door 3 times. A man is coming from around this corner and walks by her, says nothing to her. She says nothing to him. And then he goes out into the kitchen area, out through the glass door. Make it make sense.
Please pay attention. One more view. Stairs going to the 3rd floor. Closet, 2nd floor, hallway. The infamous sliding door that people believe that the perpetrator entered through. Kitchen. Let's go back around. We're coming out. Closet to the right. Stairs to the right. And bedroom upstairs. Let's go up the stairs.
Brief intermission, everybody. Woo, these commercials, I tell you. So what do you all think so far? Do you think they should have left the house up so the jury members could have seen the inside of the house?
We're now coming up those stairs to the 3rd level. Bedroom 3B. Window. Shower room. Room 3A. And then back to the hall. That is your area view of this apartment house. Orbix360.com is the source for this information. Thank you for joining me. Very interesting to know how he got in, or they got in. Did the perpetrator know these people? Did they know their perpetrator? Which entry did he come in? Front door, 2nd floor level, or climbed up to this level here and come in? Let's look some more. This is the bedroom 3A. This is the one with the balcony. There's a window. Did he climb up here to come in? Is it accessible to get in? Does it open? You have to ask all those questions.
Very true. Because what did I tell you all? When you stand behind that house up there near where the apartment building is, you have an area view. So he could have easily just slid down that little mound, and he's climbed up on the balcony and made entry. So do we know if Kaylee left her balcony door locked or unlocked? Did she leave it locked or unlocked while she was living there? So you have lots of questions because you don't have to assume a person walked through a door or left out of a door. People go in and out of homes different types of ways. Okay? I climbed in the window, I climb back out. I climb in the window, I walk out a door. I walked in one glass door, but I might exit another door. So see, all we know is he exited out of the glass door where the kitchen is, because that's what the girl said, Dylan. Oh, I saw him walk by me and he exited out that door. So that means she stood there and watched him walk out the door. Are y'all hearing that? I just really sat here and thought about that. You didn't hurry up and close the damn door after he walked right by you? You stood and watched him go by you, past that little hallway and out into the kitchen. I'd be damned. And walk out the glass door. So you stood there and watched him and didn't say nothing. Hey, who are you? What you doing in my house? But you stood and watched him. I just really sat here and thought about that just now. Hot damn. I think it would have made sense if they would have kept it up, because we have questions like, how was the house set up? Right. And the people need to hear the sound. So it would have been good to have somebody on the third floor making noise, had a dog up there barking, play audio of a dog barking. So that way you could say, well, on the first floor, I can hear it. No, I can't hear it. You understand what I'm saying? You do need to hear how sound travels in a house. Well, they can't see it now because they're not there. All they're going to get is this visual, if they've got it. I'm sure the courts have a visual of a house, this 360, whatever, to show you what the rooms look like. But it's still not the same as walking in, looking at all the vantage points, walking around the property, walking on the property. They need to stand behind the property to see what it looked like looking down. Because if you stand back there where that tree is, you could see straight through this damn place, even through the damn trees. You could see the downstairs, which would be the glass door kitchen area. Upstairs would have been Kaylee's old room. You could just stand there, as I said, for hours and just stand there and gape and look through and watch these people. And they have no idea, with the trees in full bloom, you're walking by, got your window up, or you downstairs, walking in and out the door, smoking a cigarette, drinking a soda pop. Don't even know somebody's standing up there watching you. It's just scary as hell.
Closet. Looks kind of small, the room. All right. Let's go back out. Bedroom 3A. Bedroom 3B, window. Another part of the balcony, third floor. I believe this is the room they said belonged to Kaylee. 3B. So we're now getting confirmation she did
fancy.
Not at the time of the murders.
Who are you speaking of, fancy?
Hallway. Bedroom 3A. Third floor. Which bedroom? This is very interesting. Go back down the stairs. Which floor did the perpetrator come in first? Second floor, or third floor, or bottom? Aerial view once again. Living room. Perpetrator, did he come up those stairs, come into the second floor? Hit this bedroom here? Xana's room?
Oh, I made a mistake. That's not Xana's. That's Dylan's
Closet,
room. Sorry about
kitchen.
that. Xana's room is around that corner.
Which is it?
Around off the kitchen. Sorry about that.
Then here's bedroom 1A. Bedroom 1A.
Yeah, that's Dylan's
There's a
room.
closet. Trying to see. Because I believe there's another bedroom that goes around that corner.
Yeah, that's Xana's
Okay.
room around the corner.
It's supposed to be Xana's room. second floor. And then you go around that corner there. That would be another room there. So did the perpetrator go straight to this room when he came in?
Okay. I want to hold it. I want to stop there. I'm going to address you all's questions down here. Oh, and when did she run down to the other roommate's room, run around the house instead of calling 911, shaking my head? Okay. When you said she then say, why you in my house? Well, Fancy, I talked about that yesterday. I said, when the person says, well, I was in a frozen state shock. Okay, I'll give her that. Because naturally, it's nighttime, it's late, wee hours. I'm not expecting to see you walk by me with a, all black or mask on, right? So let's say we're gonna role play. I'm standing in the doorway, hollering, hey, cut it off, shut up, woo, woo. Then you walk by me, which is just hard for me to understand this. You walk by me, I don't say nothing, you don't say nothing. You just go on out. I'm standing there watching you leave. Yeah, I'll probably be shocked, see you walking by me because I'm not expecting to see you. But that's why I'm saying, allegedly nothing was said. She didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to her. I just found all that so crazy to me because I've said this 1,000 times and I'm going to keep saying it. If right now I was in the bedroom and I awoke for whatever reason, and I stood in this bedroom doorway, because my bedroom is off my kitchen, okay? This is a very tiny place I'm in. And I got a galley kitchen. So let's say I stand in the doorway of this bedroom and something's got me up for whatever reason. And then I stand in the doorway and then I'm looking down this galleyway kitchen towards the front door. And you just happen to pop out of wherever, because you can't be nowhere but the 2 closets in my living space and or my bathroom, which is around my kitchen. So I'm standing in the doorway and I just happen to look down this galley kitchen and I see you, oh Jesus, walking by, going towards the front door, because there's nowhere else for you to go unless you're gonna come around here with me. Yeah, I'd say I'd probably be shocked and I probably would be grabbing my heart like, oh my God. And then you walk out the door, let's say, okay? Let's say I don't say nothing to you. You look at me and you don't say nothing to me. But once you shut that door, my big butt is sprinting to that front door and lock it. But I'm still going to be scared for the obvious reason. I don't know you. You're not a friend of mine. I didn't give you a key. And how the fuck did you get in here? So you see where I'm going with this story? I'm calling 911 because eventually, come on with it, Queen, because somebody's slow out there. I got to go back to sleep and I need to know how the fuck you got in here. So if you got in here by Jimmy in the door or you already got a spare key, I'm still petrified because I got to stay in here. Bingo card. That's what don't make no sense about these kids. You were in there all damn morning. Like it was nothing, seeing a man. And then you're texting somebody who ain't got no sense like you. I don't care what nobody say. This shit don't make no sense. Even if you role play it in your head, you know you're supposed to run to the door and lock a door. So that makes me wonder if the glass door wasn't even lockable. Because how did he get in? They said he didn't break in. So that means you left it unlocked or the lock is broke on the glass door. And to this day, they've never told us how Korberger entered the house. Just that he exited out the kitchen. So just like I'm role playing right now, I ain't gonna want to stay in here because I know he has a way in my apartment. Who don't understand that? Who don't understand what Queen is saying? How you get in here? I didn't give you no key. Duh. So I called the police. 911, what is your emergency, please? Yes, can you please hurry? Yes, I got and I saw this guy. He was in a ski mask and all black and he was walking out my front door. Okay, ma'am, what's your address? Then they send the officers over, and I tell the officers, explain. I woke up in the middle of the night, I heard something. This guy is walking out my door. I don't know him. Well, ma'am, are you dating anyone? No. You have a boyfriend? No. Who has a key to your house? Nobody. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Make it make sense. They had to see Ethan because he was up against the inside of Xana's bedroom door because they needed two people to push the door open to get in. Well, Kim, how do we know that's the truth? Because you got to remember something. All this he said, she said, it's not the truth. And the 911 call proved that because we always thought somebody was outside passed out. Well, we now know that's not true. So how do I know that somebody was up on the door? See, somebody was passing untruths about this case for some reason. And I don't care what nobody says. When you play the 911 call, and I've played it several times since the weekend, it's obvious something is off with these kids. Whether they know Korberger, don't know him, whatever. The point is they were hiding something and it don't add up. Because that 911 call proved that shit is bogus. So somebody up on the door, not on the door, it still don't explain you not describing Ethan in the 911 call. Wherever Ethan was. You don't hear no mention of him until the end of the audio when she says both of them. And the dispatcher, she didn't even call it out. Like, huh? What did you say? Both of whom? Oh, because you know big girl would have called it out. Sweetheart, who are you talking about? Both of whom? Who are you speaking of? You just said one person was passed out. Who are you talking about? Then they would have had to say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, Ethan, her boyfriend, he was in there too, passed out. And I would have been, oh, that's when I would have got fired and I lost my damn job. Hold up, wait a minute. You've been on this phone for 3 minutes and you're just not telling me somebody else is passed out in the room? Come on now. And Mr. Gonsalves, you don't think this is relevant? The 911 call, it ain't no big deal. It wouldn't have saved nobody. Okay. I'm glad you got that type of thought process, considering you have a whole dead kid and her best friend is dead. But that's your thought process. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. Could nobody been saved. It's principle. No way in hell a woman should be in a house and see a man walk by her in a ski mask and she don't think to call the damn police. I don't care what went on at this 1122 in the past. I don't care that people call the police on you all for making noise. There is a man with a ski mask walking by you. Your friends are no longer answering the phone. You are texting, calling. Nobody's answering. Somebody was whimpering. That has stopped. And you don't put together the ski mask and the noise stopping? Come on now. And that's not including what you actually heard that got you up opening and closing these doors. In the AM. Stay woke, everybody.
Kill the people there that went around the corner to look there. And that means he would have to sing those stairs to go down to the first floor. How did it happen? Or did he come in from this angle here, second floor ground entry, and then walked up these stairs, killed the kids upstairs, then came back down, and perhaps Ethan was somewhere in here or over there. Maybe he heard something if he went upstairs first. As he's coming down, he confronts Ethan on this floor, this level, somewhere in here, allegedly where Ethan was. And then maybe the girl woke up and they struggled and she's found on the floor in there.
Sorry I keep saying that. That's Dylan's room. For some reason I got that mixed up. Because, at first when we got the information, we didn't know really which room was which until we had to keep listening. I don't know why I keep going back saying that Xana's room for some reason in my head. But Xana's room's around the corner.
Excuse me.
That's Dylan's room.
Bedroom 2B. This wall is where they said the substance was. Okay, 2B. Maybe I'm in the wrong room. Sorry about that. So that's not 2-1. Okay. I'm getting thrown off here. Okay, let's see.
This will be Xana's room because it's facing the living room.
2 floor. So 3B. Go back down. So this is the wall where they said it was. Okay.
Now you see how small the room is?
So this room goes out to the bathroom. So that wouldn't be the room then.
That's Dylan's room.
It's 2B where they think this where the blood came out. So that was 2A close to the railing. They're saying 2B. So 2B would be around the corner. I don't really know. Because it's hard when you're not visually in the house, trying to visualize it. People made it seem like if this was the room where they were staying. But that's 2A. So let's go back. That's close to the kitchen, then that would have to be, let's see, 2A.
2A, sorry.
Let's say we're coming up those stairs. Here we go. 2A is right there. Coming in from first floor. This is the second floor. That's the hallway. 2A is closest to the kitchen. And then 2B, this is where they're saying blood was coming out the wall. Okay, because I would assume that would be on the back side of the house, that 2A room, since the kitchen is on this side. So this is 2B. So this is where they're alleging the blood stains. I don't want to quote anything that's not true. So here we go, everybody. Second level. So the killer came in from around this corner where there's the kitchen door. He came around, and allegedly, if their room was here, then did he go in there? Nothing in there if that wasn't the room. So that means he would have to come around the corner, then back around and go up the stairs. But as you see, if he came in from the second floor, there's no way he couldn't miss this partition and the rail to show you that you would go down, and then you would see the stairs and 2 doors. Were those girls' doors locked? Did he walk all the way through the house? Had the killer been in this house? Has he been in this house before? That's what I'd like to know. Has the killer been in this house? Because as you see, if I don't believe that they were in that room, and he came in from around this corner, let's go here. You see what I'm saying? That's the living room right in there. He would have to come in here. No, he's coming in from here. Stairs going up to the 3rd floor. That's 2A, closest there. That means he would have bypassed that room or looked in that room first, naturally.
Now you got to remember, everybody, this video I made is over 2 years ago. So I'm only going by what we were learning at that time, which we know some things are not true, okay? And as I said to you all before when I covered this case, I didn't point the finger at anybody because there were too many victims and I didn't know who the perpetrator was. And I just was not about to be pointing the finger at anybody. And as I said, we were just gathering information as I was doing this live stream of the visual of the house. So at this time, you don't hear me mentioning Dylan's name much because I think at that time I hadn't really got information on Dylan. But we now know that was Dylan's room, okay? I think she had moved from the bottom and up to that floor. Because at the first, when the story first broke, we didn't even know that somebody was in there. I think we thought that there 2 were on the bottom and 2 were on the top. And then we learned Kaylee had moved out. So see, everything was like he said, she said. People come telling me this person said this, somebody said this on a news broadcast. I never knew nothing because I don't sit up all day watching, news broadcasts and articles. I just don't spend my time, reading like that. But anyway, we were gathering the information as it came in. But as I said before, somebody put that rumor out that somebody passed out outside. Well, when you listen to the 911 call, nobody's passed out because you hear the operator specifically saying, is somebody passed out? And nobody's saying, yeah, right here on the ground. So who put that rumor out? So that's why I've always asked, where was Ethan? Where was Xana? Did they confront him coming down the stairs? Were they in the kitchen getting a soda pop, drink, ice cream? Because you still got to ask, why did he go around this corner? Right here. This room here is the kitchen, right? You see the refrigerator. Dylan's room is right there. The girls' room are upstairs. If he came in from this way and entered the house, he entered the way he left. Why are we not even checking this door first? Come on with it, Queen. Because in the end, when people keep saying who the target is, it still don't make no sense to have 4 people dead if I only wanted 1 dead. We could see why the 2 girls would be dead because they're in the bed together. But how does Ethan and Xana fit into this scenario around there? You can't even see around there. But like I said, he knows the house because he's watched this house. So he knows the rooms. Don't know if he knows the layout. But guess what? If I got this off of Google, he went to Google too. So if he never went in the house, he went to Google, Zillow, whatever, and he got the same layout. So let's keep that real. He's went to Zillow, some app, and opened up the house just like what I did. Okay? So he's got the layout even if he never goes in. And he's a smart guy. He can put 2 and 2 whose room, who's which, because he's watching them. Queen wasn't watching the house, so you get it? So it was easy for us to mix the rooms up because we were just going off the information at that time. So role play. He walks in. This door is either open or closed. Don't know if Dylan had it locked or not. Don't know if the girls locked their doors or not. He goes up the stairs, kills those kids, come back down. You don't jingle jangle on the door handle, Mr. BK? Make it make sense, everybody. Now, mind you, while he's up here killing these kids, this girl here, Dylan, is opening and closing doors. Okay? Make it make sense. This is how scary this shit is. This girl is right here. Xana's room was around this wall here. They're up. They were up. They're dead. He's coming down these stairs. You mean to tell me you don't hear no big old feet coming down here? Boom, 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 boom. Run around the corner. This shit don't make no sense to me. Why are we bypassing this room with a whole human in it to go around the corner to kill those 2 kids?
They went around that corner.
Yeah, could be. Some people think he was exhausted.
Bedroom 1A goes out to the hallway. Once again, the bedroom where this is supposed to have taken place. 2B.
So we don't know if her bed was like that or not. Don't know.
Here's a better view. Downstairs, first floor, 2 bedrooms down there with the survivor roommates were. You're coming up the stairs. I say he came in from the front way.
Xana's room. Okay? He's coming down the stairs past Dylan's room. Why are you going around here? That's why I said, were any of these kids up? And he's coming down and there's a confrontation. Who are you? What are you doing here? So if there's a confrontation, Dylan, you didn't hear that? Make it make sense. Somebody help me out. Make it make sense. Why is this man, if he only have 1 target, why is he bypassing roommate here, go out and go down that hall, kill those kids, come back through this cubby hallway, and he and Dylan are locking eyes, and then he walks on through the kitchen and out the door. And then we have a girl down here on the bottom floor. sleeping or doing something. And that's Bethany. No way, the way this house is made. And you see there's parquet flooring, hardwood, laminate, whatever. This ain't noisy. Okay? We're gonna keep it real. So far, you've not seen carpet in any of the rooms. Now, could it be that there's carpet in here, we just don't know it at the time? So let's ask that question. What's their carpeting here, her room, this little hallway, upstairs, downstairs?
So if he came through the front, he bypassed 2 doors. So which way did he come? From that kitchen door? Or down there? 3rd floor window? Or 2nd floor windows? 2 windows on the 2nd floor, remember. 2 windows on either side of that sliding door. So if the kids weren't in this room around this corner on the 2nd floor, Ethan and Xana, then the killer, let's say, came in on the 2nd floor, came in, checked that 1st room, weren't in there, he went in there. That is as if you've been in the house looking, been there before, if indeed we want to believe he came through the kitchen, okay? Unlocked door. So this is on the off side of the kitchen. A wall separates kitchen area, hallway. Killer comes through, goes over there to that door next to the stairs. Then come out, sees nobody, and this is where they're alleging the kids were, Xana and Ethan, if that is true. I don't know. I don't want to verify and say anything. This is very strange. Bedroom 1, surviving roommate. Stairs coming down. This would be to the left if you're coming into the door from the parking lot, main door. It looks like there's a keypad up there for security. Front door, up the stairs to your left to go up the stairs to the 2nd level. Room 1A, that would be facing in the back. Laundry room, let's do a 360. Toilet, shower. Bedroom 1B. These are the 2 surviving bedrooms. Front door. So here we are, everybody.
So that's what we thought at that time. The 2 girls were on bottom.
Driveway is outside, parking lot. So if you're coming in, this would be to your left, going up the stairs. To your right would be that 1st bedroom and those windows facing the parking lot, okay? Room 1A sits back there. Those windows will be also facing the parking lot. So that would be a window over there facing the parking lot, then swivel around. This bedroom would have a window. So those are your 2 windows that sit either side of the door. Window 1, front door, window 2 from that bedroom. Stairs going up. Now we're coming up the stairs, 2nd level. Window. That would be facing the backside. Stairs going down to the 1st floor. Killer is up here because if we believe that's the room that they're saying Ethan and Xana were in, he had to have known there's stairs going down. Why would he not go down those stairs? Make it make sense, everybody. And as they said about going up to the 3rd floor, let's go up to the 3rd floor where the girls were.
Brief intermission, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you all watching me this Thursday evening. We're now 2 hours and 39 minutes into this live stream. Did not plan to go long. The video from the News Nation about the sheath, the knife, and the cutter sharpener. So went ahead and showed that.
2 bedroom B. So I'm sorry about that. Here's a hall coming up to the 3rd floor. Bedroom 3B, 3A. Shower room. Window. As you see, there's no way to get out of here if any doors were locked. Bedroom 3A.
Oh, thank you, Pale Rider. Pale Rider, you gotta call me.
You can see drywall around there.
Hold on, let me say something right quick. I'm not streaming this through the live stream where you all can come up on the panel.
Oh, excuse me, this is downstairs. I'm sorry, bedroom 1, survivor.
Call the queen on IG, bigsexy.71, because I was trying to get somebody to come on today, Sue, but she didn't answer. So if you see me live, and you're welcome to call me on IG during the live, and you can give me your opinion. So if I go live again tonight, which I do plan on doing another live stream after dinner, you can just dial me up on bigsexy.71, send me a request, I'll accept it, and then I'll message you and ask you if you want to speak on the commentary. Because when I've dropped a live stream, for some reason, you all act like you're too shy to to hit the panel. I don't know what it is, but y'all can chat down in that comment section in the under the video. So bigsexy.71 on IG, hit me up. The next live is going to be we're going to talk about a daycare giving children Benadryl. Right or wrong? Take the poll on my community page. Let's finish this up. Hold on, because I think I'm a little ways off now. Hold on. I'm 14 minutes in.
Came in from around this corner where there's the kitchen door. He came around.
Okay, Pale Rider. Well, hit me up.
If their room was here, then did he go in there? Nothing in there. If that wasn't the room, so that means he would have to come around the corner, then back around and go up the stairs. But as you see, if he came in from the second floor, there's no way he couldn't miss this partition and the rail to show you that you would go down, and then you would see the stairs and 2 doors. Were those girls' doors locked? Did he walk all the way through the house? Had the killer been in this house? Has he been in this house before? That's what I'd like to know. Has the killer been in this house? Because as you see, if I don't believe that they were in that room and he came in from around this corner, let's go here. You see what I'm saying? That's the living room right in there. He would have had to come in here. No, he's coming in from here. Stairs going up to the 3rd floor. That's 2A, closest there. That means he would have bypassed that room or looked in that room first, naturally, and then went around that corner. Let's see. Bedroom 1A goes out to the hallway.
Okay. It's pertaining to children getting
Once again, the
Benadryl.
bedroom where this is supposed to have taken place.
Benadryl and kids, toddlers in a daycare.
And as you see, it looks out to the living room.
And it's a very small room, Xana's room.
Here's a better view. Downstairs, 1st floor, 2 bedrooms down there with the survivor roommates were. You're coming up the stairs. I say he came in from the front way. So if he came through the front, he bypassed 2 doors. So which way did he come? From that kitchen door? Or down there? 3rd floor window? Or 2nd floor windows? 2 windows on the 2nd floor, remember. 2 windows on either side of that sliding door. So if the kids weren't in this room around this corner on the 2nd floor, Ethan and Xana, then the killer, let's say, came in on the 2nd floor, came in, checked that 1st room, weren't in there, he went in there. That is as if you've been in the house looking, been there before, if indeed we want to believe he came through the kitchen, okay? Unlocked door. So this is on the off side of the kitchen. A wall separates kitchen area, hallway. Killer comes through, goes over there to that door next to the stairs. Then come out, sees nobody, and this is where they're alleging the kids were, Xana and Ethan, if that is true. Don't know. I don't want to verify and say anything. This is very strange. Bedroom 1, surviving roommate. Stairs coming down. This would be to the left if you're coming into the door from the parking lot. Main door. It looks like there's a keypad up there for security.
Okay. I've mentioned
Front
that
door.
already.
Up
Gonna
the
jump a
stairs
little
to
bit.
your left to go up to surviving bedrooms. Front door. So here we are, everybody. Front door. So the drop.
So we now know that
Window
one was
2,
downstairs and one was on the second floor.
Stairs going up. Now we're coming up the stairs, second level. Window. That will be facing the backside. Stairs going down to the first floor. Killer is up here. Because if we believe that's the room that they're saying Ethan and Ed are in, he had to have known there's stairs going down. Why would he not go down those stairs? Make it make sense, everybody. And as they said about going up to the third floor, let's go up to the third floor where the girls were. 2-bedroom B. So I'm sorry about that. Here's the hall coming up to the third floor. Bedroom 3B, 3A. Shower room. Window. As you see, there's no way to get out of here if any doors were locked.
Very weird house.
Bedroom 3A. That's a window, as you see, that you can see drywall around there. Then there's bedroom 3B. Now that does have a glass door. I do believe this is supposed to be Kaylee's room at one time, if I'm not mistaken. So this would be the only entry out, excuse me. So was this door locked or unlocked? Did he climb up to the third floor and get in? Because somebody made a comment about that on one of the news programs that they didn't have a way out. This would be your only way out. That way or that window. If we're to believe he came in through one of the bedrooms. Bedroom 3A. As you see the railings, that would be the porch, surrounding porch that surrounds the other bedroom. There's a window there. Did he get in through one of these windows? Bedroom 3B, bedroom 3A. Did he climb up and come in through there? Through there? Or through there? Through there. Through there. Or there. Or there. But know that there's a screen outside of there, lying on the ground. And I do believe News Nation was the source where I saw footage of a screen down there. If this was locked, did he take the screen off the window? Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $DeGanju129 Cash App. All stickers are welcome during my lives. How did the killer get in this house? Second floor. Living room. Or front door.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And remember that front door was allegedly open. Don't know if that's true. I'm starting not to believe anything that was said back in 22.
Did somebody give the killer
23.
the code to the front door? Thank you for joining. This is Everyday Shenanigans.
That was my older channel's name, Everyday Shenanigans. Make it make sense. Because there's a lot to digest with this case. Entry into the house, what he saw, didn't see. What the lady saw, didn't see. I bring you this information because some people may not have, seen the house, because everybody comes onto a case at a different time. Mr. Korberger is facing 4 counts of homicide, first-degree murder, and burglary. Okay? His attorneys tried to throw everything out. I don't know. Good question, Carly. DNA on the screen. Yeah, because that's something that's been mentioned when this case first broke. The screen was out. We don't know when the screen was taken off. Then you also have a ladder that was placed outside, and there are many pictures showing a ladder. Maybe somebody was working on the house or something. They just left the ladder there. Don't know. But the chief says no one broke in. So that's point A. He didn't break in. That means he was either let in or he walked into an unlocked door. Common sense. So as I showed you this house, I'm showing you every angle of a way that the man could have came in without jimmying a door or a window. So you see the girls had balconies. He's a tall guy. It wouldn't take much to climb up the balcony. As you see that piece of wood right there, anybody virile could just climb that, jump up. You're on the porch. Don't know if Kaylee locked her door or not, a glass door before moving out. Don't know if Maddie locked her glass door. But we do know Korberger got in there. That's the point. Don't know if he entered this way, left that way. But you always have to ask the obvious. If he entered that way, and Dylan says he exited that way, how did he even know he could come in there and get in without having to jimmy it? Make it make sense. That's why maybe, he has been to this house. Because I got to know I can get in and get out. I'm already going into a home where I see numerous cars parked outside. That's first and foremost. I have watched these people and assume who I know live there. I also have to assume they got boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, men coming over, but I don't care. So that means I'm going in to kill, obviously. I brought a knife, I'm going to kill. I'm dressed, I got a mask, I'm coming to harm. So he assumed he was going to make it out of here alive. That's just how cocky and arrogant this motherfucker is. I'm coming out of there one way or the other, alive. Struggle or not. And he did. But the weird part is he left 2 alive. It is believed that the women were stalked. We now get information from News Nation that a knife sheath, and a sharpener were bought March of 2022. So what you have to ask yourself is, number 1, had he been stalking the children for 8 months or longer? How did he come across the children? Who was the target? Why were 4 killed and only 2 left behind? That's why I'm showing you the outlay of this house, to make it make sense. Because it really don't add up. If the targets were upstairs, why are you going around the corner to Xander's room? And you bypass Dylan, whose room will be over here in the little hallway. You walk straight in that door if you came that way and walk past a survivor's room, walk up the stairs, kill those 2 kids, come back downstairs. She's opening and closing doors all this time while he's in here killing these kids in 10, 12 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. Walk by them. They look at each other. Nothing. He goes back out this door allegedly. This shit is weird. Yes, he's been watching them for a while. And that's the point of the story. How did he discover the kids? How long had he been watching? When did he buy the weapon? They say March 2022. Did he buy the weapon to deliberately kill these kids or somebody? And as I have said before in my commentary the past week, Korberger was going to kill someone. We were going to be talking about somebody's child. If it wasn't these 4, if it weren't these 4, it was going to be somebody in Idaho, Wisconsin, Oregon, Washington, wherever. It was going to be somebody's child, sadly. The point of the story is, you saw somebody walk in your house that you've never seen before. You should have dialed 911. It don't matter if somebody could have been saved or not. We don't know that. We're not there. We're only listening to shit that these people have been putting out as rumors. And so far, some of this shit ain't the truth. We hear that the door was open. We hear that somebody was passed out outside. So far, we don't got no clarification of none of that. And obviously nobody was passed out outside because we got the 911 call. And nowhere in that call are they talking about picking somebody up off the ground. They're talking about somebody in here passed out. So as I said before, who started that rumor, or did people misunderstand what was said and thought they meant outside, but it was the girls giving a version somebody's passed out inside? Because I think somebody misconstrued what the girls said on the 911 call. This is why I said you cannot believe everything that's said. Because we now know 2 years later, there was never anybody out there on the front drive passed out. We just heard the call. There's no mentioning of someone outside. There's also no mentioning of Ethan being passed out, which I find very bizarre. We only hear it near the end of the audio where she finally says, yes, both. When the lady asks, well, how old is she? She says 20, both of them. And that operator sure caught that and said, both of whom? I thought there was only one person passed out. So we know they've had to seen these kids dead because that defeats the purpose of calling 911. This is something terrible wrong here. This case made me scared. Top live alone, to live alone. Things house, wait, say what? But Things house had 6 people in it. Numbers don't necessarily determine what will happen. Well, that's obvious. Came across at least one of them at frat party, house party, social media. He had a target for at least one of them, I believe. 100% someone was going to die. Yeah, somebody's going to die. He possibly bought the knife to kill someone. So see, the data in his phone is going to put everything together. They're going to put a timeline out for everyone in court. They're going to show you when he started posting, downloading pictures, commenting, liking the girls' pictures. They're going to also compare that to when he bought the knife. And that's how you're going to know which one came first. Bought the knife because I'm going to kill somebody, or already been stalking these girls, and now I'm buying the knife in March of 2022. So I'm sure they're going to go back in time. They're going to lay all that data out, and they're going to show us when they believe he started stalking one of the kids. So then that way we'll know which came first. Victim first or knife first. But either way, it was going to be a jump off because he's sick, he's ill. He's probably been thinking about murdering people for some time. So in the end, it was going to be somebody, man, woman, child, whomever. He was going to pick a prey, pick a target, stalk them, and do just exactly what he did. I don't see it going no other way. May not have been 2, may not have been 4, but it was going to be somebody, sadly. So if it wasn't in Idaho, it was going to be Washington. If not Washington, it would have been Pennsylvania. Wherever he decided to set soil and stalk his prey. That's the point. But what is bizarre is the 911 call and all this he said, she said of this, this, and this, and none of that stuff is panning out so far. This is why I always tell you, I don't listen to gossip in true crime because it throws you off. And you start having 50,000 people chiming about what they heard. And as soon as you ask somebody, well, where'd you hear it? I don't know. Well, then how do you know it's true? Because gossip is not going to fly in court. They don't allow he said, she said. So everything that you done heard, you are not going to hear it in this trial. You got to have proof. That's the only way it's going to work. But you can best believe 12 members of a jury, they are going to chop up this 911 call. They would have to be crazy not to. And whether they believe these kids involved, no Korberger or not, they can't just ignore the call and say, well, they were confused, they were scared, they were this. If you believe, they're also saying that they contradicted themselves. I don't know nothing. I don't know what happened. Okay, if you don't know what happened, then why are you calling me? Why are you calling me? Why are you passing the phone from one person to the other? Why is one girl pretending to be a roommate, but she ain't? She cleans it up and says, oh, I live next door, down the street, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, which is it? You live here or you don't live here? You all got to think about all that, because that shows that something is off. Whether these kids got something to do with the murders, know this guy. Why are you making up stuff? I have no reason right now to be at your house at 12 o'clock pretending to be your roommate, and I'm not. And I'm not getting ready to go on no fucking 911 call knowing it's recorded, pretending to be a roommate, and I don't live there. So this is what makes me think this was rehearsed, because that girl don't stay there. So why is she saying one of our, then she stops and says, oh, I live down the street. She starts it off with, and I just caught that too. She first says, I live next door. Then she's cut off. Then she says, well, one of our, then she stops again. Then she says, oh, I live next door. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? What is all this shuffling around? This shit is bizarre to me. And nobody's going to tell me that it ain't. I get it. People panic in seeing a crime, hearing a crime. I get all of that. You get excited. You're trying to get your point across. You're trying to tell stuff. But what you always have to remember, court and the dispatch are really the same. When you're in court, you cannot repeat he said, she said. Okay? Only one person stands at the podium at one time. When you call it 911, it is the same thing. Only one person can talk at a time. And she doesn't want to hear he said, she said. She needs to know what is going on at that time. So she can't allow 3-4 people taking the phone and throwing it to one person, this person. And I don't care what nobody says. This is weird to me. I get it. One person was crying, so she couldn't talk. Okay, so here, I take the phone and she passed the phone to somebody else. But why are we now interchanging? Everybody's not crying on the 911 call. So that's why it don't make no sense to have all these different people taking the phone. Hello. Okay, well, let me tell you this. Okay, operator, well, let me tell you this. That lady is trained to decipher different people talking. That's why she said, stop passing the phone. Make it make sense. The call log of Dylan in the morning will make you even more furious, Queen. It's mind-blowing. Calling parents and obviously neighbors before. Yes, Carly, and that's what I mentioned during the live yesterday. Thanks for mentioning that. It has been said, I brought you a source the other day. ABC News says in their article, someone called someone before the 911 call was made. So this is where I believe these two unknown people come into the picture of the 911 call, which would be Hunter and this other female speaking. They had to have called these kids over. So it's a lie, I believe, when someone said 2 years ago, oh, somebody was walking by and somebody was on the ground passed out, and she walked up asking what was wrong, and then she just jumps on the phone. That's a lie. The call says otherwise. So now you have to go back and ask yourself, everything I heard 2 years ago is not the truth. The open door, we don't know if that's true. Somebody passed out on the ground, that is not true. 3 or 4 people talking to the operator, why? Why are these many people spinning a web about 1122 King Road? Why are you telling this woman people are passed out when they're actually dead? You go back in there because she instructs you to go back to check the pulse or whatever of the girl, you say she's dead. You're calling their names, which you already know they're not getting ready to wake up because they're dead. You don't smell blood, you don't smell death. Are you serious? Ethan, Xana. Is she alive, sir? Is she alive? Is she breathing? No. Get out. You knew they were dead before you called. I'm not gonna sit here and believe they didn't know. Those kids were no more alive from the moment they actually saw them to the time they called 911. Now, come on now. We're not gonna play these games. You had them know because they've got proof you've called, so that means they checked your phones. You called people. And that was said then, remember? Oh, there were quite a few people out there. So this goes back to my theory. If you call people on the phone about what you saw in the house, people came over to the house before the 911 call. How are you going to prove to Queen you didn't know those kids were dead after 4 a.m., after 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and after 11 a.m.? The hyperventilating and not able to talk, paying the phone around tells a lot of what you already saw. Yes, Carly, that's what I said to myself too. Some people believe this was genuine, this was real, raw, as Mr. Gonsalves said on a Facebook post, Vinnie Politan, but I don't think I agree with that. I think this was all orchestrated for a 911 call. I think these kids already knew these kids were dead. I don't know what time they knew that they were dead, but they had to have known, because it defeats the purpose of the 911 call. You can't have one without the other. And that's just common sense. And Mr. Gonsalves does not have to agree with Queen or anybody else. I don't really care, because I'm entitled to my opinion. And I keep telling people this. My discerning spirit has not served me wrong. If something weighs on the Queen's heart and mind to re-listen to something, there's a reason. And one of the fans is the reason that I'm making these videos, because they heard something whispered under the breath of one of the girls. Poor Kaylee. But then when I played the Court TV audio today, it's not in there. Why? So I had to go back and pull up the original, and you could hear her whispering. So that's suspect to me as well. Why are you all whispering? Why is somebody saying stop at the beginning of the audio? Stop what? See, something is off. Stop. Then when the lady tells him to go up there and check to make sure the person is breathing, Bethany didn't even want to go, because you hear Dylan saying, come on, we gotta. So that leads me to believe you don't want to go in because you already seen the carnage. Checkmate. Bethany is probably wanting to say to her, Dylan, why are we doing this? We been know them kids were dead. And I don't want to go back in there. It makes sense to Queen. And this is my interpretation of the 911 call. They knew those kids were dead. And they're lying to these people on this dispatch call for some weird, sick reason. Why, I don't know. And the only thing I can come up with is that you're lying because you know you saw those kids dead earlier and you didn't call 911, and you know it would look bad calling an hour, 2, 3, whatever, 6, 8 hours later. So you had to come up with this rules to call these people over, yet you still had to discuss it with them, and they still got to be looking at you two like y'all fucking crazy. Like, okay, well, how the fuck you didn't know something was going on, and you talking about a man was in here walking around, folks bamming, slamming, making noise? Come on now, you had to see and heard something. Because you couldn't call me over to your house and tell me you saw somebody walking by your house, walking in your house 8 hours ago. First thing I'm going to tell you is, well, why am I here? Oh, you know, I've made that very clear during the live streams. Don't call me to help tote a body, bury a body. Don't call me after the fact. Because that's the first thing I'm going to say to you when you say, oh, there's something strange going on. And then I'm going to say, strange like what? Oh, there was a guy walking around in a ski mask. And I'm going to say, well, what time was that? Oh, that was after 4. And then I'm going to look at my clock and say, well, it's 10:30. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, I need you to come over here. Hell no. I'm not going over there to your house. Because then, in my mind, I think, look, hey, I watch too many crime shows to know better. You want me to come to your house after you just seen somebody walking around 6, 7, 8 hours later? You want me to come over there and do what exactly? If you don't have that type of mindset, you are in trouble. And I'm just going to keep it real. And I don't care if you're 20. I don't care if you're 50. You could not call Queen right now and tell me you saw somebody walking around your house with a fucking ski mask on 6, 7, 8 hours later. Can you come over and check it out? Huh? So did it go like that? Ring, 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 ring. May I speak to Hunter, please? This is he. Hi. I hate to bother you, but there was a guy walking by with a ski mask on, and a lot was going on, and I was calling the girls, and they weren't answering, and there was whimpering and crying, and then he walked by me, and I didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to me. He walked out the glass door from the kitchen, and I shut my door, and I started calling everyone, and nobody was responding, and I don't know if it was a prank or not, and then I called Bethany, and I was telling Bethany about it, and then Bethany told me to come down to her room, and then we sat down there and pondered over what was going on, and then we stayed in the house, and I was just wondering, could you come over and check the house for me? Now I want you to think about what Queen just said and ask yourself that what I just role played made any sense. So that's scenario number 1. They already knew something was wrong, but they called this boy and this girl to come over because they were scared to come out the room, Bethany's room, to walk around. So they used him to come over and this girl to do the dirty business of finding out what was wrong in the house. Did it go like that? They never got up to search, never went to any of the rooms, but called somebody in the AM to come over to do the dirty work for them, okay? Number 1, that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is, at some point in the AM, after 4, after the murders, they did get up and find the dead kids, but decided to go stay in their room anyway and hatch this plan to use somebody to find the bodies when they knew all along the kids were dead. Option 1, option 2. She was doing TikToks at 7 a.m. How do you know that, Pam? Exactly. The hell we are. I'm hightailing it out of that house. When Dylan runs down to Bethany's room, I can't believe the two of them couldn't come to their senses to call 911, especially after ski mask and yelling, "We just gonna sit here and play on Snap and Instagram." Oh, the phone records. Okay. So you're doing TikToks at 7 a.m. and you don't smell anything strange. So that means you probably didn't never go to sleep then, if that is true, Pale Rider. So let's just say all this is true. The district attorney, you're going to have to hide and fudge some of this shit off them phones because that ain't going to look right. So I want you all to think about that. They go into court and pull the phone records of Bethany and Dylan and see that they have been talking to every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Mary Sue. They've called mamas, daddies, cousins, brothers, sisters. Up on TikTok, Instagram, doing God knows what. While the smell of death and blood is permeating through the house and the vents. And you don't know there's something strange besides the smell of death and the blood. And that man with the mask. Nobody's answering the phone. Nobody's checking anything. I just refuse to believe if that is true, that you're up at 7 on TikTok, you didn't walk through the house and find out your friends were dead. Because even if there was no smell as of yet at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., I still don't believe that because you have the heat on. It's winter. Phone records are sus. I don't believe Dylan slept after saying, yeah, I said the same thing, Carla. That's why I said in my commentary this week, what time did the two girls go to bed? Because their testimony is all over the place in the 911 call. Our understanding is that the interrogation is the same. I didn't hear nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm confused. I don't know what I saw. Well, you had to be somewhat sure of what you saw because you're repeating it in the 911 and the operator won't let you finish telling it because that's not what she's trying to ascertain. She's trying to figure out who's passed out. She's not trying to hear about somebody in a mask. And that's what people don't seem to understand. The dispatcher is not in the house. She don't know nothing. And if you are not properly explaining the scene, she doesn't have anything to go on. So I didn't get mad at the operator during this 911 call. She was just trying to figure out who's passed out. You're going around and around. And in her mind, somebody could be really needing an ambulance and you're sitting here playing hot potato with a cell phone. But guess what? Drum roll. I can play hot potato with you when I know ain't nobody getting ready to be resuscitated. Bingo card. But that's a cold-blooded thing for me to have to say. But I do believe somebody knew that somebody was already dead. And that's obvious because that, once again, that's the purpose of the 911 call. You're telling these people, this woman and somebody's passed out, but we now know they were not passed out, they were dead. And there's just no way you could know that they were dead. There's no way you're gonna even explain that in court. And I really feel bad for them if they're genuine and they're just airheads for kids, because 12 people are gonna be listening to you talk and they're gonna say to themselves, how is it that they didn't know they were dead when the cop walked in and said, oh, I smelled blood as soon as I walked in. Well, how you didn't smell it? And you're living in the house. You didn't smell blood when you got up at 10 o'clock in the morning calling Maddie and Kaylee? You didn't smell death? When you all saw the kids passed out, you didn't see blood. You didn't see stab wounds. You didn't see blood on the wall, nothing glimmering on the wall, even if the room was dark. Come on, let's keep it real. And guess what? You're going to smell it in that room more than anything because that's where they died. This is bullshit. I don't care what nobody says. This 911 call is bullshit. Because you're now in the room with the dead folks. How would you know they're passed out if you didn't go to the room? See, ain't nobody really listening to the 911 call. You called 911 because you saw these two passed out. And you couldn't have seen one without seeing the other. So you had to smell death when you walked up to the door. I don't care if somebody was on the door, laying down in front of the door. You're going to smell it as soon as you came up them stairs. I'm woke. What was really going on in this house? Because their behavior and description in this call is really come see, come saw. Like, oh well. They dead, but they passed out. And then at the end of the call, Hunter pumps up, get out, get out, get out. And it just seems, I don't know, to me, all this seems orchestrated to me. This 911 call seems like a farce, seems rehearsed. The dog barked for hours. Okay, and that would be what? On the doorbell camera of the neighbor. Pale Rider says, like I said the other day, they didn't see it as their problem. Well, that's a cold way of feeling about your friends, don't you think? You can smell death. That too was a lie. Where was the dog? Did it step in the blood or not? Alert anyone or anything? Don't know, Carly. The dog barked for hours. Well, we heard that too. That's why I said, what is really the truth in all the things that we heard from 2 years ago? Because all that's going to matter in court, and that's where Ring camera audio is going to also tell the story of what happened to these 4 kids. And that's what these dodo birds don't seem to understand. Dylan and Bethany the time of the audio from the neighbor's house is going to tell the story. And you better hope like hell it don't show this motherfucker coming in and out. Because somebody's got it. And I think the neighbors got it. They got that man coming in and out. They got to have him coming in and out. Because there's just no way I'm going to pay for security of just audio. What do I need audio for? I want to see you coming in and out my house. I want to see you snooping around. I want to hear you walking around my house. And the dog was up there a very long time. So that means the dog probably urinated or defecated up there, I would assume. I don't know how long dogs can hold their bowels. So that's something to think about as well. This don't add up, this call, like I said. And I don't feel like I'm victim blaming. Everybody's entitled to his or her opinion. Everybody reacts different. I get it. But this case here with the 911 just don't add up. It didn't add up then before we knew all of this. That's what people don't seem to understand. This girl told the world what she allegedly saw and heard in her house. And when we first got information of what she allegedly saw and heard, Dylan, it did not make sense even then. And it is now 2 years later, 2+ years later, it still don't make no sense. And the 911 call puts a whole new spin because there's no description of a bloodbath. And you have to ask yourself, why not? Why am I going to call a dispatch and sugarcoat what I'm seeing? Because if you didn't know any better and you had never heard this story, you would just assume somebody went and looked in someone's room or somebody shook someone and said, get up, time to go, and the person didn't respond. That's the way this 911 call is played out, in my opinion. Heard they have him squealing off around 4. He's on camera because they knew the make and model of car. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's how they were able to track Kohlberger. That's why I said this is not an accident. This is not make-believe. This is not false identification of a human being. They have stuff on Kohlberger. The bushy eyebrows in the car is what led to capturing him. Okay? One thing begat another. Running the DNA on the sheath, a descendant, which is his father, put their information into the database, which FBI, whomever, checked. It is what it is. It's no mistaken identity. Nobody just plucked him out. Nobody just picked up Kohlberger as a suspect. It's bullshit. And I bet you right now, you could go in half of the people that fool with these kids, all that shit in their phone. Bet you the times that some of these kids got data pinging over at 1122 is because they actually were over there chilling with those kids, partying with those kids. Some people, for some sick reason, even though they have nothing to do with the story, the case, they cannot accept what is. And this is why I said a lot of people are just like the people in the story, the perpetrator. They have the same ill mindset. Because if you just can't accept the evidence, then there's something wrong with you. Kohlberger is nothing to any of us. We don't know him. We don't know the surviving roommates. We don't know the dead. But I refuse to believe he was just plucked out. Because in the end, all roads lead to him. Now, if he had help, he ain't telling on him, okay? Let's go there. Just throw that out there and be done with it. He ain't telling. But there are many cases of homicides where people have been brutally killed in homes. And there are lots of stories of people brutally butchered, slaughtered in a house and it was only one perpetrator. So there's no such thing as he needed help, he had to have help. That's not true. There's a black guy right now who I believe was found guilty, and he killed a whole damn family. And there was like 6 or 7 people in the house. So it can happen. And you can definitely kill them if they're asleep. You don't need no help. That's my commentary, everybody. Who was the unknown girl on the audio? Why did she slip up and say hour? Then she retracted it and said, I live next door. Who was she? When was she called? Was she just walking by, heard some kids screaming? They told her what happened. Then they called 911? Or was she called beforehand and she's a friend of these kids? Which is it? Hunter, same thing. When was he initially called by these girls? Did they call him first before calling 911? Because in the end, I think you already have the answer. He was called beforehand. Because if they called, and I always tell people to pay attention to the information, so now I'm telling it because it's now, once again, an aha moment. He had to have been called first, because if those kids called 911 first to say, hey, I want to call and tell you something, but I don't really know what happened, why would he just pop up? Why would he just be walking up on the scene and take the phone? And he don't know nothing. And he didn't have no reason to be over at the house at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Stay woke, everybody. Make it make sense. You two are outside, saw something, but don't know what you saw, and these two just pop up out of the blue. Make it make sense. And we know that can't be right because the girl is describing somebody in the house, somebody passed out. So if she is just an innocent person walking by, how would she know that? Exactly. Several calls were made before the 911 call. That's obvious. That's why I always tell you, you have to listen to the information. They're telling on themselves. That girl did not walk by happenstance. Hunter didn't come by happenstance. Because I can't tell the operator what happened in your house if I just walked up while you're in the commission of the 911 call. That don't make no sense. You're standing outside talking to the operator, right? How do I know what happened in the house if I just walked up? Wouldn't you hear me saying, what's going on? What's wrong? Why is that girl on the ground? What happened? You don't hear none of that in a 911 call. That's why you know nobody passed out outside. This shit is baffling to me. Because what I have to tell myself, if I'm listening to an audio that makes me believe people are lying, what else do I not know? And is there more to the story with Korberger? As I said, I don't believe in conspiracies, but their behavior is off-putting. I can't tell that lady nothing that I ain't seen or heard. That's why I knew they talked to these kids before calling 911. Why? You've already been in the house for hours with dead people. You've already heard shit going on. No way you didn't hear these people getting slammed around, fighting. Ethan was a big guy. He was not a little person. No way I'm going to believe Ethan didn't put up a fight. Even if he was awakened, he's going to try to fight for his life. Most men are heavy-footed. So you're going to hear boom, 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 going up the steps. Boom, 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 going down the steps. Walking across laminate flooring, and you're heavy-footed. Dylan heard all that. Hey, Patricia. She heard all that. Because I have to to really sit and think about that this week. No way, just showing you the visual of this house. They ain't put carpet on there. You know why? Because people are nasty. And carpet gets nasty with footprint, mud print. You're going to hear every bang, walking, heavy-footed. That girl heard all that shit. And I've shown you the house. It ain't that big. It might look like it from the outside, but when you go in here visually, the spaces ain't that big. So in the still of the morning, you're going to hear people talking, laughing, TV's playing, phones on, audio from phones, iPads, computers. So no way I'm going to believe you don't hear this man jumping on top of a bed with two girls, stabbing them, come down the stairs, go around the corner, do the same to two more people. There's a thud in that room that can be heard next door on the audio, and you're in the house, feet away from both rooms. But you're drunk. You don't know what you heard. Shocked state face, bushy eyebrows. He walked by me. He walked out the door. No big deal. Call everybody. No big deal. Go to Bethany's room. No big deal. Get back up 10:23. No big deal. Start calling people. Right before 12. Ring, ring, ring. 911, what is your emergency, please? This shit is not right. But I don't care what anybody says. The actions are baffling, but why no mention of Ethan and Bizarre or no mention of blood, just a simple passed out? Yes, please, this is the house you live in. You just tiptoeing around. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I made a video about Ethan this week. Why was he never mentioned at the beginning of the 911 call? Because you could not have been there to see only Xana. It doesn't make any sense. You had to have seen both. And then when the operator sends you to go back up there to make sure the girl's breathing or not, you slip up and say her age, and then you say yes, both. Basically saying they're both 20. This is your first time mentioning another passed out person who was actually dead. And there is a difference. They were not passed out. They were dead, butchered. And that's baffling to me as well, that there's no mentioning of a horrific scene. There is no mentioning of an Ethan Chapin passed out. Only at the end of an audio, almost over 4 minutes long, do we even find out they're now saying, oh, it's two people. So as I said before, if you can leave Ethan out for 3 minutes, how do I know that you didn't see Kaylee and Maddie before your 911 call? That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Take the polls on my community page. I'll be back later with a crazy America story. Check out my extensive library of 3,000 videos, shorts, and if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie, 129 Cash App. If you would ever like to be a guest on this show and I don't drop the live stream, you can call me up on IG, Instagram, BigSexy.71. Send me a request when you see me go live. Just hit that phone, call me, and let me know, Queen, I want to give my opinion pertaining to the content that you are relaying in the live stream. It's very unreal. They saw both Xana and Ethan at around 1:30 when they came home. Well, Pale Rider, what we're trying to figure out is, when did they see them dead? When did they see them dead? And when did you see Kaylee and Maddie dead? because the 911 call is bogus to me. If you're calling different people to tell them that somebody's dead, passed out, and then they're lying for some weird reason, then I'm not going to sit here and think that you didn't already know that Kaylee and Maddie were dead. No. I don't have to. And that's my perception. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you for your time. Once again, Opus is the movie of the week, playing at a theater near you. I'll be back. We'll chop up some crazy new nonsense. And I'm going to bring you some updates pertaining to some other breaking news out of Memphis and the Julie Christie and Wendy Williams. They will be in 15-second shorts because I'm not going to always make a live about every update, just so I can cut down on my time on the real heavy stories with a major update. So I'll give 15-second shorts for those who don't have time to, sit through a live stream. My guess will be around 5 a.m. Well, I don't know what time, but as I said to you all before, with what I've seen and heard in this 911 call, it would be a shame that they sat in that house knowing those kids were dead and got up and looked and went right back to their rooms. Because to me, the 911 call leads me to believe they did know they were dead. And you can best believe going into court, it is not going to look good to 12 members of a jury or people in the community, family members who are trying to act like they're living in a bubble. You were calling different people, but you didn't have the same fortitude to call 911. That don't make no sense. You can't say you're that scared, but you're calling all these people. You're still up wide awake, but you're drunk, but you're calling people. You don't know what's going on, but you're calling people. You're in a shock state phase, but you're calling people. You get up in the morning and say like you're still calling people. You're calling people over, but you still don't call fucking 911. Yes, they knew. Hell yeah, they knew. You've been listening to the Vodic Cell. Thank you.